Sorry. 1 second.
Hmm?
Oh, why isn't it going? Hey, good evening, folks, and welcome to the show. Tonight is a special night, and we have ATL Audits from Cobb County. That is in Georgia, I believe.
Yep, just outside of Atlanta.
Yeah, so he is here to basically tell his story on what's going on down there in Cobb County with the abuse of children, the schools, and the police and that. So I'm just going to let him take it away here. I'm going to put him full screen so that we can concentrate on what he's saying, and we can go from there. So the floor is all yours, brother.
All right, thank you. Well, kind of give you a little background is I was having some problems with the kids in my neighborhood. They were bullying my son really bad, and I live in a very bubbled world. I really don't pay too much attention to the outside world. I just do my own thing. But a lot of the kids, they were bullying him in the neighborhood, and I started speaking up about it. They were bullying him at the bus station and the school bus station, and I called the school. I was like, look, these kids are being nasty to my son. You need to do something about it. And, they ignored it. I was like, all right, yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll see what we can do here. But it got worse. And I found out that the kids that were bullying my son, well, their mother is good friends with the principal's wife over at Kemp Elementary School, Bill Pritz. And, I find out that the Tidwells across the street from me that were bullying my son, well, our brother is a cop, works over at the 5th Precinct, right up here at the end of the corner. So this is his jurisdiction. And then, the same thing. The people that were bullying him here in the neighborhood were the teachers' kids up at the school. Now, I didn't find out this stuff until much later, until I started connecting all the dots. And like with the police officer, I didn't know that he worked up at the corner. I didn't know the guy across the street used to be a cop. But this all, came into play, later, down the line for me. When I started trying to figure out, why aren't they doing things? Why aren't they following normal procedures? What's going on here? Why am I just being brushed off? Well, it comes to find out, they're all related. It's all a big friend and family network. They're not going to say a damn thing against their friends and family. That's what was happening. So I complained. And then one day I get my wife gets a call from the school. His kindergarten teacher was doing something inappropriate with him in the bathroom. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What the fuck? And I apologize.
No, don't be. No.
And I'm like, I call the school up after my wife tells me this. And I tell them, look, you need to do something about this now. This is not an option. You need to do something about this. This is disgusting. And it's unlawful. And it's child abuse. You need to do something now. But you got a possible pedophile up there at the school, teaching in kindergarten, Mrs. Heather. She's a public school teacher. And they said, well, we'll look into it. We'll give you a call back later. I'm like, What? Mind you, the kids in the neighborhood that were bullying him are related to the teachers telling him we'll take care of it later.
Of course.
You see, it's all connected. It's connecting the dots. And then I didn't connect the dots until much later. So I'm like, no, you need to do something about this now, or I'm going to call the police. And this was a big eye opener for me, too. They decided, well, we're not going to do anything. All right. So I decided, you know what? I'm not going to play games with this. I'm calling the cops. So I yanked my kid out of the school. I called the police. I called 911. I told them I need an officer at the school. This is what happened. I'm waiting. A cop never shows up. Then a different kind of a cop shows up. The school police show up. Now, this is important. I called 911. I called the regular police. They canceled my 911 call.
Wow.
The school canceled. How they have the authority to do this is still, I don't understand. The school cancels my 911 call and calls their own private police department. A police department that's paid for by the school and takes orders from the school. They're not just regular police. They're kind of PR people for the school system. And what they do is that they cover up crimes happening at the schools and they keep it on the wraps. Well, I just happened to be recording my son up at the school when I went up there. I had a little tape recorder. He had a hearing problem and I recorded a speech and I played back for him later so he could hear himself talk. I used to do that with him. He's fine now. But while I was sitting there in the office waiting for the police to show up, this guy, Bill Pritz, the principal, says, I have to leave the school because they called the police. I'm like, are you kidding? Why would I have to leave the school for calling the police? And he starts gibbering and yabbering, this, that. It's policy. It's this, it's that. It's like, you know what, Bill? It's not your policy. I don't have to leave this public building for calling the police. I did nothing wrong. I'm not going to leave. Well, there was a big commotion. The school cops showed up, and that's where I asked him, oh, thank you for, I told the police, hey, thank you for coming. I called, and it's like, well, I'm not here for that. Like, what are you here for? Bill Pritz called the cops on me after he canceled my 911 call and called the police on me saying that I was causing a disturbance. Well, I ended up going to the superintendent's office and I actually got an apology from the superintendent's office that time because there was no policy. I have him recorded saying it is policy. So I caught this guy lying through his teeth. And, it was just nasty. And things settled down a little bit after that. The crowd that was bullying my kids, they backed up a little bit. But they're like little children. And they can't stay quiet very long. And so, they started again, little by little, seeing how far they could push. So I started raising the stink again. I called the school. It's like, look, what's going on? My son's getting bullied at the school. You're doing nothing about this. At this point, time has passed, and I'm starting to learn a little bit more. And that's when I started learning about the difference between school cops and cops, Cobb County cops, Cobb County school cops. So I started asking the question, the different police in Cobb County. Is there a difference between the Cobb County police and the school police? And every time I ask this question, I'm given a different answer, literally, from all different levels of police, from the street cop up to the captain, up to, to captains, heads of departments, sergeants, lieutenants, all giving me different answers. No one can give me a straight answer. I'm like, what the hell is going on around here? There's something really dirty going on because they've got themselves, the school has got themselves set up almost like a fourth branch of government that answers to no one. If you need to call the police, they call their police. And they actually said it's their police. But it's not their police. The police work for the citizens. They don't work for the school. They get paid for by the school, but they work for the people. But the school is on the impression, and the school functions as they're their private police that does their dirty work for them. But I'm complaining about this bullying going on, and I get the same runaround. So now they start labeling me as a troublemaker because I'm sending off emails saying, I want this to stop. If this doesn't stop, I'm going to call the cops. So they go into protection mode. And they start saying, well, I'm causing problems. But I'm not. All I'm doing is I'm a concerned parent wanting answers about this bullying that's going on. So I start sending out emails to people, to different parents and things like that. And I'm finding out I'm not the only parent that's going through this. I mean, some of their kids are getting sexually harassed in the school. They're getting beat up in the school. And the school is blowing it off. And even the news stations, if you look at my website, you'll see that the news stations have tried to question the school board and the schools around here. And what they do is that they ignore the public. They refuse to answer questions from the public. And then when you go and you get a little more pushy, saying, "Look, I need this answered," what they do is give you a trespass warning. Now, the trespass warning, to get a trespass on public property, you have to do something. They can't just say, "Hey, I don't like this guy because he's black, he's white, he's Hispanic," and just give him a trespass warning. You can't do that on public property. You have to have cause, and it's very well laid out in the code. And I'm asking, all right, what did I do in this code that matches the criteria in criminal trespass? I did nothing. Oh, you called the police. We had to have the police. It's like, excuse me. I called the police because my son was being assaulted at the school. That's not harassment. And that's not a disturbance. That's a concerned parent calling the officials on your neglectful and criminal behavior. But they have a private police force, the school cops. And they've been caught on multiple occasions violating people's rights on national news. One officer in particular, Sergeant Jones, violates people's rights left and right. Multiple news stations pick it up. And here in Atlanta, Channel 11, 46, showing Sergeant Jones violating people's rights. Multiple lawsuits against Cobb County, showing that they're not following their bullying policy, which is zero tolerance. Bullying is a crime. And they have multiple lawsuits. But what the school likes to do is to keep everything secret. Now, here in the States, public schools, all their records are public. The public has access to all of those records. Mm-hmm. All the human resources records, all the teachers' emails, all the emails from the administration building, they're all public record. Yeah. And anyone should be able to access those records. Now, they refuse to talk to me. and answer my questions. So what I did is I put in some FOIA requests to get some documents, figure out what the hell's going on, what they're talking about. So how they keep things secret is they charge money for the copies. Now, I've gotten stacks of paper a foot high from the police department. Stacks, piles of paper. Cost me $10. $10. No problem. Any kind of record. And the police departments, sometimes they don't even charge you. If it's below a certain amount of paper that they're printing, they don't even charge you. And if you do it on the computer, electronically, they don't charge you. The school, on the other hand, I asked for a couple of weeks worth of emails from one person, and they wanted to charge me just under $4,000 for it. And I asked around about it. I called a bunch of news stations. It's like, yeah, no, that's typical. That's what the Cobb County School does. They overcharge for the FOIA requests. This way they keep what they're doing secret, because the average person can't afford to shell out $4,000, for a few sheets of paper. I mean, they're nasty people. But anyway, my son, he comes home with a bloody nose. I asked my son, what the hell happened? He said, well, some kid, punched me in the face, and I got a bloody nose. I'm like, well, what did you do? Oh, I went to the nurse. And what did the nurse do? Oh, nothing. She just gave me a napkin. I was like, she didn't ask you why? No. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I call the school up, and I tell them, look, my kid was assaulted at the school. And a lot of other stuff is going on at the same time, because my kid's getting constantly bullied. And these pricks across the street from me are bullying my kids too. They're in the the school, teacher's friends, principal's friend. And so I'm calling and I'm making a fuss, and I'm going from police department to police department. And you can see it all in my videos. One police department tells me to go to X, Y, and Z. Well, I go to X, Y, and Z. Well, X, Y, and Z tells me to go back to the police department. I go back to the police department. They tell me to go to A, B, and C. I go to A, B, and C. A, B, and C tells me to go to X, Y, and Z. So they start giving you this runaround. No one knows what the hell's going on. So I'm like, you know what? I need to start getting more public records to find out what the hell these people are doing behind my back. So I go up to the police department. I start requesting some records. And they ask me for ID. I don't want them to have my ID. And under the Georgia Sunshine State law, I don't have to provide ID to get a public record. So I go up to the police department. I say, I need such and such records. They say, well, I need ID. It's like, I don't want to give you ID. You need just to give me the records. It's a public record. And they tell me, well, it's the law. I tell them, no, it's not the law. And they insist, it's the law. It's the law. I get your supervisor. Good old Lieutenant Wade comes out. Yeah, you have to give ID to get these things. It's like, no, I don't. And I brought up the Georgia Sunshine State law. Here's the law. I don't have to provide a damn bit of ID to get these records. These are public records. So I file a complaint. Finally, I get these public records without giving the ID, but not without attitude. The front desk lady tells me, well, we could give you these records now without the ID because we know who you are. It's like, hold on, lady. You're not giving me these records because you know who I am. You're giving me these records because you lawfully have to give them to me. And I told her, do you understand that? And I'm not going to give you ID because I don't have to provide you with ID. I mean, it got real nasty with me, a lot of back and forth. And it's all in the videos. You guys, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch these videos. So one kid gets assaulted at the school. Same old blow off thing. So I go up to the superintendent's office. Hey, you need to take care of this because you got this private police force that's doing nothing. So what do? They give me a trespass, a criminal trespass warning. Tell me I can't go on to Kemp Elementary School property. And I was given the trespass while I was at the superintendent's office, never at Kemp. I asked the cop, did I commit a crime? The cop goes, no. I asked the cop, did I do anything wrong? The cop goes, no. So it's like, why are you giving me a general trespass then? It's to prevent you from committing a crime in the future, he says. I'm like, are you nuts? So now we got the thought police working on the school campus, in the schools. And they charge you with things not based on things that you've done, but things that might happen in the future. They're thought police. And Caucasian Sasquatch made a great short of Sergeant Jones. Yeah, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. If you look at through my list, Sergeant Jones is a short. I mean, this guy is a madman. He's like one of these, something you'd see out of a 1950s Southern, a U.S. Southern movie, bad cop. I mean, it's just nightmarish. Hey, I gotta go get a drink. Hold on a second.
Yep, no problem. Yeah. So, again, thanks for everybody for stopping in tonight here. Gorilla Circle, VA Issues, Josh Amherst, all of yous. And if you can, share the hell out of this video. We need to make this go viral if we can. This is just ridiculous about the child abuse and stuff like that that's going on. So anyways, folks, here he is again, and let him continue.
Sorry about, I got MS, and after I talk for a while, my vocal cords, they go monotone. So I have to talk a little more forcefully. But anyway, I start getting my word out there. I start filming these dirty bastards. And boy, they don't like that. They don't like it when you put them on record. And I started doing a little research myself into some of these people. Find out that Jamie Frost, head of the administration over there, has a criminal history of alcohol abuse and dealt with minors. And I looked it up on the computer, did a criminal background search on it. And I'm thinking to myself, how did someone get a job like hers in school administration that has a criminal history? Doesn't she have to produce that on her application? And so I'm figuring, I'm trying to figure out, well, who does she know? Why was this overlooked? She must have done something for someone for them to overlook that little article. The criminal background where she was found guilty. Still looking into that one. But anyway, I tend to, I wish I had a more clear train of thought. There's just so much that's happened and so much that's going on, and it was really important for me to videotape everything to make sure it all got documented with the times and dates and everything. Okay. And that's really one of the reasons why I did it, because I know they would just confuse me, because I'm not the smartest of people and I have MS, so it makes it a little tougher on me to focus and concentrate. And one thing they did when they gave me the criminal trespass warning without cause, that they admitted to, they had no cause to give it to me, but they gave it to me anyway. So they took the paper And the cop, he threw it at me, threw it on the floor. And I had my GoPro on, and the GoPro shows that cop, after he threw it at me, he left. Another officer came over, picked up the paper, and put it on my notebook. And then, after we had a conversation back and forth, me and the officer picked up the trespass warning, and I have it on video. He took it with him.
Hmm.
So I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I start calling around and asking questions. What was this trespass for? What was it for specifically? Why did you give me a trespass? Jamie Frost comes back, the top administrator, and says, well, you refuse to take the trespass warning. It's like, what? I didn't refuse to take the trespass warning. I didn't want to sign a piece of paper that the police officer knew nothing about. Because when I asked the police officer, why are you giving me the trespass warning? He actually said he didn't know. I asked him, why are you giving me this trespass warning? Sergeant Jones responds, I don't know. It's like, no, it can't be right. I asked him again. I asked him like 3 times, why are you giving me this trespass warning? I don't know. Why are you giving me this trespass warning? I don't know. Then he asked me to sign it. And it's like, what makes you think I would sign a piece of paper from the government that you don't know what it's about? Why would I sign a piece of paper blindly like that, not knowing what it is? You can't explain it to me, but yet you're serving it on me. And I asked his boss if that was okay. He said, yeah, that's fine, Lieutenant Wilson. I asked him, this wasn't right. He's like, no, it's fine. You dirty bastard. They cover for each other, the school cops especially.
Yeah.
And so I'm asking, why did you give me a criminal trespass warning? So, well, you refused to take it. And then she publicly says that, and she tells all the police officers. And I told the police officer up at the 5th precinct, look, they didn't even give it to me. And the cop of the 5th precinct told me, well, you refused to take it.
So, sorry, I'm kind of lost here. They give you a criminal trespass warning because you refuse to take a criminal trespass warning.
No. The piece of paper that he was trying to give me.
Yes.
He wanted me to sign it.
Which was what? Was it some kind of?
It was a piece of paper that gave the reason, I guess. I don't know what it was. He wanted me to sign this piece of paper. And I'm assuming that it had the reason for the criminal trespass warning on it. But he couldn't tell me what was on it. I asked him repeatedly what's on it and why he was giving it to me. And he said he doesn't know. So who gives the trespass warning, the school or the cop?
The way it's
see what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I know the way it's supposed to work, but like that makes no sense what they're doing there, my brother.
No, it doesn't. And you know what? They don't give a damn because no one is going to question them.
No, I know that since the 9/11 thing that they have this big thing where they have to protect the kids because obviously it was proven in the courts when that shooting happened in the schools. The cops don't have the duty to protect people, and they proved it by being a coward and staying out of the school, out of that school shooting, and that's what set the precedence. So now we got cops that don't want to deal with the children, which is our future, and they're letting kids get beat up. There's anti-bullying laws that's been instituted all across North America and the world. And they don't even want to enforce it. They don't want to protect the children. What kind of cops are they? What kind of educators are they?
They're nasty.
Um,
They're more concerned with image than the kids. They're more, concerned with their paycheck uh, than the kids. And in one of my videos, I can show that. I could show their position on this. My son, after I was given the criminal trespass warning, so I'm not allowed to go up to the school.
so that means your
Uh,
son can't go there because you can't go pick up your son in that.
well, that's what I'm kind of getting to here.
Okay.
All right, so my son, he had to go to the nurse. He got hurt on the playground, and because of where the injury was, the nurse at the school couldn't examine him. So the school nurse called me up and tells me about, oh, Nick got, kicked in the, groin area. I can't examine it. I needed to call you and tell you about it. I was like, well, I need to come in and get him so I can take him up to the doctor to make sure he's okay. You didn't examine him, right? I was like, yeah, I didn't examine him. But I think he's okay to come, to stay in school. It's like, wait, hold on a second. You're a nurse. He got injured on the playground. He got hit hard in the groin. And without doing an examination, you're telling me he's fine? How can you decide that when you haven't done an examination? That's medically unsound. I'm like, you know what? I need to come pick up my son to take him to the doctor office to make sure he's okay.
Hmm.
And then, well, you can't come to the school. It's like, this is not an option here, people. You need to let me come and pick him up so I can take him to the doctor, or you could call the police and an ambulance and have him taken to the hospital. Those are your two options. I need you to make that decision now because I don't want time to go by. And I put this on and I have it all recorded, the whole conversation. These are some nasty fucks. I get it. And then after a big old debate, it's like, all right, well, we'll call the ambulance. So I hang up the phone. I'm rushing around to get ready to run up to the street so I can follow the ambulance up to the hospital so I can get my son. I get a call about 15 minutes later from the principal of the school, Miss Gursky. She says, I think he's okay to go home. It's like, excuse me, you haven't called the ambulance yet? No, we haven't. What the hell are you doing, lady? This is my son's health that we're dealing with. But you see, if they get the police and the ambulance to the school, that looks bad on them. Image above the safety of children.
Mm-hmm.
I have this video of this phone conversation in my link on my channel. These dirty bastards are willing to put my son's health at risk. And I show it on the video. And I told Miss Gursky, look, I was told by the nurse that once I hung up, ambulance was going to be called. I want to know why it's not called. I keep it nice and simple with them.
Mm.
And she's like, well, if it makes you feel better, I could ride the bus home with them. It's like, excuse me, Miss Gursky, do you have any kind of medical training? And she goes off the, deep and well, I was like, no. I'm asking you a direct question. Do you have any medical training? And she's like, no. She's like, well, what makes you think I would feel safer if you rode the bus home with them? See, right away, they're trying to redirect, muddy the waters, get it going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
This is very simple. I pick him up to go get him checked out, or you call the damn ambulance. Now they're delaying my son's medical care. So I was like, well, I thought I'd save you the money for the ambulance. Like, you know what? Not your job, lady. Not your job. I don't care about money when it comes to my son's health. You call the ambulance now. And she hangs up. So, all right, we're going to call the ambulance now. And then I get a call a few minutes later. Oh, you could come pick him up. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You've delayed my son's medical care. You're telling me the ambulance is coming. Then it's not coming. Then you offer to ride the bus home with him when you're not medically trained and you're trying to do me a favor. And then you tell me you're going to call the ambulance again. Then you hang up. And minutes later, I could come pick him up at the school. So much that they're worried, they're worried about me going up to the school. Then, I could go up there now. Now that I'm about to put them in a bad light. Because an ambulance is going to come with the police. That's what they don't want. They don't mind that I'm up there. They mind if they're put into the limelight. Because if an ambulance gets called up there, then the news station gets called up there, then the police show up, and they have publicity that they don't want.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's image over children. Now that we're in this position, okay, we're not that concerned about you coming up here or doing anything. So you could come up and pick him up. So I go pick him up. Take him up to the doctor, get him all checked out. But this is the mentality of these people. And this happened a couple of times where my son got injured over the school. I had to go through the same BS. Then, one day, the bus doesn't show up in my neighborhood. It was the bus broke down. So I'm like, I call the school up. Look, I need to bring my son into school. Oh, you can't. Like hell I can. You can't refuse my son an education. I got this on video too down there in my link. So I go up to the regular police department. I said, look, they're refusing to let my son go to school. They won't let me drop him off. They do nothing. I'm calling all these numbers. They won't answer my phone. I show the police, look, I'm going to call this number. See, they're not answering. They have my phone on caller ID. They won't answer my phone. They won't let me take my son to school. They can't do this. This is against the law. Finally, the police call over there, and they let my call go through. Oh, you can bring your son to school. I'm like, you know what, you son of a bitch. All this garbage. Because of all this, it's nasty. And it all breaks down to they want to protect their image. And I have caught them lying through their teeth. And I have it on video. And I've connected the dots. Officer Tidwell up there is my neighbor's kid, uncles, the kids across the street. Officer, the Tidwell family, Officer Tidwell over at the school. Cynthia Tidwell, good friend with Bill Pritz, the principal's wife across the street. People that have been bullying my son. Lori Carpenter over there, her kids bullying my kids. Good friends with the pervert teacher in her kindergarten class, in this kindergarten class. What the fuck? And it goes on and on and on. They refuse documents. They charge too much for documents. They refuse to answer questions. They lie to the police. I have video of them lying to the police. They're filing false police reports. I got a guy in the neighborhood, Captain Dummy, I call him, Doug Wilkins. Retired Cobb County fireman. Who's the chief of all the departments of public safety? A fireman.
Huh.
So Captain Dummy, Doug Watkins, I brought my service dog up to the pool. And he said, oh, you can't have the dog at the pool. It's like, yes, I can. It's a service dog. And he's like, well, prove it. It's like, excuse me, I just told you it was a service dog. That's as far as it goes. As far as the ADA and the law is concerned, that's what I do. I tell them it's a service dog, and that's the end of the conversation. Next thing I know, I got 3 cop cars out at the in the front of the pool. I'm trying to enjoy the pool with my son, and this guy's giving false reports to 911 and giving and lying to the police, making false, abusing the 911 system, making a false report to the police department. I tell them I want charges pressed. They're like, "Oh no, 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 we're not going to do that." It's like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy had 3 armed men come up to the pool, or my life and my son's life could have been put in danger if we had some other cops come up there. If it was the Tidwells that came up there, it could have went down a much different way. You know, if they asked me to leave, it could have went down a much different way. They put me in a situation where they're liable, making false claims like that. And it's nasty. The same very people that are friends with the people that are bullying my kid in the neighborhood. You know, I'm putting a lot of information out there, but it all connects.
Yeah.
People from the neighborhood and the HOA, all related to the people at the school, all related to the people in the police department. All connects. They have a private police department, you know, that follows the rule of what the school wants instead of the law. This was on the news not too long ago, where the news station wanted to question the police. And the police told the news station, "I'm sorry, we can't talk to you because the school board said we can't." Like, hold on a second here. When did the school board become in charge of the police? They're public servants. The people are the boss of the police, not the school board. But there's a very well documented Channel 11 news story showing that the school police are taking orders from and follow directions from not the public, but the school board. And this shit's wrong. And we see a lot of this in our country now where school boards are trying to label parents as domestic terrorists.
Yeah, I seen that.
It's happening a lot. And I try to figure this one out. I try to figure out, well, what branch of government is you know, the Department of Education in? And it's in I guess it falls within the executive branch. And the police fall within the executive branch. So I'm trying to figure out if they're trying to make, I don't know how they have this kind of power, if it's a legitimate power or not, because I can't see where it is. But they're doing some fancy work with it. Oh, there's just so much. Hold on, I'm gonna get another drink real quick.
Hey, Chad, how are you, brother? Are you there? You know you're muted. Oh.
I'm here.
There you.
I'm here,
So-
Ash.
Oh, right on.
Joined in.
Yeah.
Didn't want to say anything because our guest was speaking. So
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Chad.
So, as you can, as you
no
can see,
worries.
the chat
No
is
worries.
in here
Welcome to
too.
the show. Sorry I'm late.
But yeah, so if you can just continue on with your story, man. It's I'm just flabbergasted at what the government has been pulling off these last few years. I've started to see change in the way that government was working here in Canada, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
in the 90s and that. And then when September 11th hit, it fucked everything. You know, our government and your government, and that's kept saying, don't let the terrorists win, just live your life like it was normal and just go back to normal and that. And what did they do? They militarized our police and started going through schools like crazy. We have school resource officers that are beating up children in schools, handcuffing 5 and 6 year old children uh, for nothing. And it's just getting crazy. And now with this so-called pandemic that's going on now, it's just getting even worse. Like you can't even look at somebody sideways now, and they call some kind of fucking discrimination or racist or because you're
Disorderly.
yeah, because you're unvaccinated, you know, you're the plague. Stay away from me. Your kids can't even come here. Uh, you know, I see it time and time again lately in the news. Well, on YouTube because the mainstream media will not cover this. But kids are getting beat up because of their vaccination status and
Yep.
because of their family's vaccination status. And
Yep.
it's bullshit. And, you know, and this is being allowed in schools, and teachers are not doing nothing about it. And now, you know, what you're uncovering down there, this is just a total disrespect of the taxpayers' money and the to the taxpayers themselves and to the children. Because if they actually did their fucking job and had the school run the way it's supposed to and bring in the police when needed and the ambulance when needed, maybe then they wouldn't have all these problems. Maybe if they address the problems within the school themselves and start saying, if you are bullying, you will be expelled from school or suspended from school. And that's what's going to have to happen. But because it's what you're saying, family members of the school board and the cops and stuff like that, there's preferential treatment for these kids. So
Absolutely.
how are we supposed to get by on a regular justice system for all when you have preferential treatment for some and everybody else has to go by the letter of the law and then some?
Yeah. Like one thing, Bill Pritch, he's a school principal.
Mhm.
He has a couple of kids that go to his elementary school, and the student selection in the classes it's supposed to be random. You know, they're just supposed to do random selections. But you know what? I talked to a lot of members of the PTA, and see what Bill Fritz does is he handpicks his kids' classrooms all together. So all the problem kids,
Yeah.
they end up in a completely different class than his kids. He has the two kids in the school up there. So he handpicks every kid in his kid's classroom.
Wow.
And then like with my kid, he puts all the problem kids in the classrooms to parents he doesn't like. How does that happen? And everyone knows that he does it. Everyone knows this happens. But not a damn thing is done about it. I'm trying to figure this out. People know that this is going on. But they're so far. I sent out emails to all the parents in my son's classroom. And I got emails back from about 5 different parents. And they all said the same thing. Look, my kid's getting sexually harassed in the classroom and at school. My kid's getting hit at school. And I've complained and they've done nothing about it. And I've seen the way they've treated you. and I am afraid to speak up. So what they've done is they've created an environment where parents are afraid to speak. They see things on the news where they're going to start labeling parents as terrorists. Then they see someone like me who speaks up and is labeled a terrorist and given a trespass warning. So I'm not allowed to be involved in my son's school. Not because of anything that I've done, but because of the shortcomings of the staff and the staff's inability to follow the law. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
That's messed up. And I'm trying to figure out, why isn't anyone doing anything here? I mean, I've talked to multiple police. All the police in Cobb County know me now. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
And when I went to police headquarters last week, the cop that I talked to was like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are." You know, good. Everyone knows who I am. So I made my voice known. I'm saying all of this is happening, and I could show video of Bill Pritz, Jamie Frost, Miss Drewski, and Miss Feldman lying. I could show them acting inappropriately, and yet no one is doing anything. So what the hell is happening here? Well, the schools get funding, by seat.
Yeah.
But if there's problems at the school, they get less funding. There's zero. If they get constant reports, they get audited, and it puts the principal in a bad light, and he doesn't want that. And I've put him in the bad light a couple of times years ago. And so the money is more important to them than the children. Their image is more important than the children, because that's what's going to cost them their jobs, their money, their life. Because their life is more important than the lives of kids. They don't give a damn how it goes. Their kid's not going to be bothered because they handpick their classrooms. Those teachers handpick where their kids go. It's messed up.
Yeah, it's I find that there's just too much preferential treatment. I believe that if you're a teacher at a school, your kids should not be allowed to go to the same school.
Yeah.
But then again, I seen it when I was going to school too. Mind you, we're going back about 40 years or so, maybe even 50. But
It was a lot different back then.
Yeah.
You can't compare. You can't compare. When I went to school in the 70s, you cannot compare the school. When I went to school in the 1970s compared to what the hell is out there now. It's a completely different world. It has nothing to do with today.
No,
You might as well be reading a history book from the
Even
1500s.
in the 90s too.
Yeah.
Even
And
different
that's
from
the
the 80s
problem.
and the 90s too. I mean, I talk to friends of mine's kids that tell me what schools are like nowadays, and it's crazy. And then I hear it all the time. The same thing you're talking about. Teachers agree. Teachers should not have their kids at the same school. My mother's teacher. I never went to her school she taught at, mainly because she taught at elementary school in New Brunswick, and then we live in Nova Scotia, so didn't really work out that I was at the same school she taught at, and she was teaching long already an adult. She went back to teaching, but she was a stay-at-home mom, but she had been a teacher prior to for years in New Brunswick, where Ash is from.
Yeah. So
And so I mean, like I agree, that they shouldn't be. They should be put into another school. And I mean, I know even at her school that she taught at, they had teachers that had their own kids at the school, and I often thought, well, why are they here? They should be at another. If there's another school, just a short ways away. It's a conflict of interest to have your own kid at school. Is what I always thought. And what my mother always raised me to believe. So
Yeah, well, I was always told to respect my elders in that too, but like kids nowadays don't even do that. And when they go into schools nowadays, they're
no,
not
they
even
don't.
taught a curriculum. What they're taught is how to use apps. And you know, I remember when we went to school, we weren't allowed to have a fucking calculator to do math. We had to work everything out in long
Pen
form.
and paper.
And now, if you don't have a calculator
Yep.
for math class, you can get kicked out.
It was
You know?
it was a privilege to be able to use a pen. What are you kidding me?
Yes.
It was a privilege to use a pen because you weren't allowed to use
Yeah.
pen. You had to use a pencil.
Yeah.
You know, the pen was the computer of the day. You know, I mean, it was like taboo. I was like, how dare you use a? You're not using a pen. You figure it out, but you're not using a pen. I'm not accepting this work if it's done in ink. You need to do it in graphite. You need to do it in lead.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the way it was.
Well,
You know?
yeah, and you know, back then it was so that in case you made a mistake, you could erase it and fucking redo it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was a reason behind it. It wasn't just
Yeah.
a nonchalant, nonsense, erroneous rule. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
good reason behind it.
But now, like you have to go to school with a fucking tablet and a fucking calculator, and almost every kid's got a cell phone with them. So they have all the tools there, and they're taught how to use Google and all these other apps, so that they can do online learning. And a lot of, I don't know what it's like down there right now, but the schools are still closed here until the 30th.
Oh no, our schools are open.
Our schools have been closed down. We've been in a lockdown, level 3 lockdown here in New Brunswick. All schools are closed. All non-essential businesses are closed. I'm about to release a video here after this about a walkthrough of the mall in the downtown area of St. John here, how the malls are all empty now. Stores are literally closing up because of this. I literally seen a guy closing his convenience store in the mall today at I think it was 2:30 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock when I took this video because the mall was so dead. There was no business there, and it cost him more to stay open than he made in sales. So he may even be losing his business. I walked through City Hall. That was a friggin' joke. Apparently, you have to have a vaccine passport just to go anywhere else in City Hall. You can only go to a little lobby that's there, and that's it. And there's a sign right there. If you want to go talk to anybody behind closed doors, you have to have a vaccine passport. That's totally against the law, you know. And I've been telling people here when kids go back to school that if they don't have a vaccine passport, that they will not be able to go back to school.
Well, do you have religious schools up there? Do you got Catholic school?
Oh yes, yeah,
Are they closed down?
yes.
Really?
No, actually,
Yeah, that's
sorry.
that's,
I just seen the school buses back on today, so maybe they just went back to school today or something. But they have been closed down.
really they could. They even when the schools were closed down here, they really didn't touch the private institutions or the Catholic schools. They if you could afford to send your kid to private school, which most of the people making the decisions to shut everything down could afford, your kid went to school. The rest had to do homeschooling.
No, I think that's what's happening here because the high school that I went by today was a Catholic high school, and I was down by the other one earlier, the regular St. John High School, and the place was closed. So
Yeah.
it could be just the Catholic schools and private schools open. But you know, when I was walking through the mall, there's a museum, a Black History Museum of New Brunswick. It may be 30 by 30, maybe 30 by 40 square foot store front in the mall. And I need a vaccine passport to walk into that fucking museum just to do a quick video. You have to have your vaccine passport ready.
Yeah, we don't have vaccine passports here.
Here, you cannot do anything without it. You can't go to, like right now, all the restaurants and that, there's no dine-in service. It's only takeout or delivery and that right now. But when it goes back down to level 2, when they open up those tables, even in a donut shop, like say Starbucks or Second Cup or Tim Hortons coffees, you need a vaccine passport to sit at the fucking table. But yet you can walk in, you can order your coffee and donut or whatever you want with and you have to wear a mask. It's mandatory that you wear a mask everywhere. It says no mask, no service. But you can walk into these places, you can order your shit, and you can leave without a vaccine passport. But if you want to sit at that table for 20 minutes and have your coffee and donut with a friend, you have to show a vaccine passport with valid government issued photo ID in order to sit in a fucking donut shop.
I'm surprised the government's allowed to dictate anything over at Tim Hortons in Canada.
Well, what they do is it's under the business law, and because of the so-called pandemic that's going around, it's part of the health organization here in Canada through the regulations and through the Restaurant and Shit Act, whatever you want to call it here. But they tell them that for every person that comes in there, and if they don't have that passport, and if they're not wearing a mask, it's an $11,000 fine per person to the business owner, and then it's an $880 fine for every person inside.
How'd they come up with that number?
That's just the numbers they
use. Here's a number and throw it out there.
And now there's an agency here in Canada called Rebel News, and they have a website called fightthefines.com. They have brought in over 150 of these illegal fines that the cops are giving out to court, and won every one of them. Everything from an $880 fine up to a $14,000 fine given to a pastor for feeding the homeless.
You know what? You want to shut the government down? Have everyone plead not guilty to everything. And I guarantee, like all the speeding tickets and everything, if everyone got together and pleaded not guilty and took it to court, to trial, you'd shut the court system down. You'd bankrupt them. They wouldn't know what the hell to do with themselves. Because what would end up happening is no one would get a speedy trial and they'd have to dismiss most of them.
And that's a problem here because since all of this has started and Rebel News has been fighting these fines and winning and finding that they're all unconstitutional fines, and the cops actually stopped giving fines in Canada now because of this. But now there's on the average of 3 federal lawsuits being filed against the Liberal government every week for the last 8-9 months that this has been going on. And it's all backed up in the court system, and the courts haven't started hearing any of them yet. But when they do, it's going to stop things here in Canada almost to a halt. But until they do, and the government keeps putting it off and off, saying because of the unicorns and butterflies that are going around and shit like that, that the courts are all backed up, they're closed and blah, blah, blah. And they keep doing all these shit. And then what happens is that the charter or your the statute of limitations expires on these, but the government's the one that's delaying them. So because it's against the government, so now a lot of these cases are going to end up getting kicked out. It's going to be 1 or 2 cases that's out of hundreds that are actually going to make it, but it's only going to take that 1 or 2 cases for the domino effect, or what we call the snowball effect, because once you start going downhill, everything just climbs and builds up.
Because it's all cut and paste after that. Once you set the precedent, that's it. You're good to go.
Exactly.
Everyone follows the same pattern, and they have to follow what the last judge said. It's into law. It's case law.
And I don't know if you heard about what happened here last year, but in the west coast of Canada, there was the residential schools. They'd found the graves of over 1,000 children that were killed in the residential schools here, Native American children, up until like
they just found a bunch in BC too.
Again, so but just last year alone, over 1,000 children were found in mass graves underneath these residential schools and that.
What year was it from?
Going back from the 60s and 70s.
That recent?
Yes.
Okay, that blows my mind.
Yeah. So,
but you remember what I was saying? School, when I went to school back in the 70s, it was a different world. World back then is not the world today, and because of multimedia and everything else, it's hard to keep something like that under wraps. Something like that, someone in the soup is gonna say, "Hey," and get it out there. But back then, it was easy to keep things quiet.
Yeah,
I mean, some real bad shit happened not that long ago.
Yeah,
I mean, the 60s, the 70s, part of the
Prairie here is saying that it happened right up until the 90s in Canada here. So this has been an ongoing thing about child abuse in Canada. My heart went out when I seen what you were doing about the children and that down in Cobb County, because it kind of reminded me of what's going on here in Canada. Maybe not on such a drastic level, but if this isn't nipped in the butt soon, it could wind up like what's happened here in Canada.
I mean, there are kids that suffered bullying for years, and these administrators that are still in office today, that have committed suicide. And there's a few of the stories on YouTube. There was one I was trying to get on Jacqueline, a girl. She was just bullied over in Cobb County for years, and they did nothing about it. And the parents went through the same thing. They called the police. The police did nothing. The school police did nothing. The school board did nothing. The same exact thing that I'm going through right now. And they ended up moving up to Pennsylvania. And the kid just could not handle it anymore. And she ended up committing suicide. And that happened to quite a few kids that were just bullied in Cobb County, So it's not the teachers and administrators and the police killing the kids. No, it's them looking away.
Yes,
it's them ignoring the problem that's killing these kids. These mass shootings and everything else that you hear about.
Yeah,
that those kids were nurtured and treated good.
Mm-hmm.
We might have, maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, but you know what? There's probably a good chance none of this would be happening today. If these kids were treated right, if these teachers and administrators didn't look the other way, if the cops didn't look the other way and act so cowardly. And like we saw here where the cops ran away from the school shoot. I mean, Oh my God. Oh my God.
And then got his job back and everything afterwards and set a precedence all across your country. And then people wonder why they have no more respect for the police. When I seen that, and when I seen that article and seen the videos and that, I went through the whole thing. I was like absolutely disgusted because, you know, it says right there to serve and protect. They always come up and say, we're here for your protection. We're here for your protection. Who do you call when you need protection? The police and that. But when you call them, they're a bunch of fucking cowards and they hide.
In the video today at the end when I was talking to the police sergeant at the police headquarters, I told the cop, it's like, look, I am reporting child abuse here. There are children being abused at Kemp Elementary School, and the school cops are not doing anything about it. They're looking the other way, and they have a history of doing this. How can you be a cop and turn your back on this? And he turned around and walked away. And I tell him, what kind of monster are you?
Yeah.
Do you not understand what is happening at this school? And he's just walking away. He's just walking away.
Now, you put that cop in your shoes, and I bet you if that was his kid, he would be fucking bending over backwards using every piece of government fucking tool he could.
It ain't happening to the cop's kid. It ain't happening to the cop's kid. And it ain't happening to a school teacher's kid. No, it's happening to the regular person's kid.
Yeah.
The parents that don't have the cash.
Yeah, but could you imagine if it did, though? Say somebody went up and punched that teacher's son in the nose or something like they did to your son. You know, what if they went and did that? Maybe start bullying them. They would use the wrath of fucking everything they had behind them to find out who did it. They would go to get search warrants and everything to go to people's houses and everything. But when you right there present the evidence and everything, and they won't even take a fucking report, that is absolute 100% dereliction of duty. And, you know, there's probably a few other charges that could be thrown on there just for that.
Well, the thing is, too, when I report it, when they make up the police report, because I read the police report, because I have the two videos, me going to the police station and telling them what happened. And then I went today and I read the police report that they wrote up from my incident. They didn't write down everything I said. And they twisted everything around. They made it seem like a gossip column, like they were investigating me and not the incident that I was trying to report.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
You know, because of the bullshit that I go through, like, I don't know if you know much about my background, but I've been an activist since 1985. I've helped change some laws here in Canada. I've done a lot of different work in the social service industry and that. And I still have problems. I can't walk around anymore because I expose a lot of them and bring it to light. Maybe not here on YouTube. I'm just starting here on YouTube, but I used to have a very successful Facebook page before I started doing this, and I would expose all this on Facebook. And then the cops and that, I literally lost my page. I had to start a whole new page and everything. I had a very successful news group on there called News Now Canada. Over 17,000 members. Most of them are gone now because I can't access it, but that's where I was putting a lot of my stuff out. So, you know, I've been kicked out of a whole province, the province of Ontario. I'm not allowed in. And I'm now kicked out of the city of Moncton because I was trying to, and it's all documented in my YouTube here about the corruption in the city of Moncton. You know, I was falsely arrested twice on the word of the mayor and city council. I was falsely arrested by the Kodiak RCMP on 3 different occasions. The latest one just last year in April, where I was arrested in my bedroom for breach of peace.
Yeah, I watched that.
So
I couldn't figure out why they were allowed. Are they allowed into your room like that without a warrant?
No, somebody else let them in my place. So
Okay, I
I
was
had,
trying to
yeah,
figure out, well, even if they let them in, why were they allowed to even approach you without some kind of a warrant?
because they were trying to make complaints against me, that I was yelling at them in my own house. The people that started all the bullshit decided to call other people to come over, and they hid in their bedroom. Why these other people come over? They started shit, and I told them straight out, "You start shitting here, and I'll beat your fucking face off." And they called the cops on me.
You were in your
Cops said
home.
that the cops came in. They even said that they can't do anything, that they were going to leave me here. And I even said, well, you have no choice because they didn't do anything wrong. And then they go away, and then they come back again because I'm out there video, because I told them to shut up, and I told them I didn't respect him and called him a terrorist. He arrested me for breach of peace. Now, there's no such charge in Canada as breach of peace.
Oh yeah, they're not the same. The cops, they just
So
if it sounds good, they say it. You know, 'Cause what are you gonna do about it? You know,
yeah. So now, whenever I go out, I always have to wear a body cam everywhere I go, and I always have another camera in my hand now. Usually, it's a cell phone in case I need to go live. I don't have much data, but I keep data in case of emergency, in case I need to go live while I'm out. So it's hard for me to walk around anywhere. I've been targeted by the police, all because I sued them and had 5 of them put in jail. Um, I think it wasn't one of my prouder moments. Am I thankful that they're in jail? That they got jail time? Absolutely. Did they deserve what they got? Absolutely. Did I deserve what I got? Absolutely not. Um, it all because we had dirty cops going around the city of Toronto robbing people at after hours bars. We turned them in, and I ended up taking a bad beating for it, and had to sue a couple of cops in the police force, and make sure that they went to jail for it. But part of the condition was that for my own safety, I had to leave Ontario. They didn't tell me I had to leave, that it was a court order, but the way they worded it was for my own safety, that I'd have to leave Ontario. Now, if the police were doing their job properly, why would I have to leave for my own safety?
Yep.
They're telling me that there's retaliation that could happen to me, and that's what's happening in schools all across the US and Canada. There's retaliation no matter what you do now. If your child goes up and tells somebody, the teachers, that there's something wrong going on, they're labeled a tattletale. But yet they the schools are telling them, if you see something, say something. The government says, if you see something, say something.
Yep.
But when you go and say something, what do? They ignore it, or they charge you with some kind of bullshit.
Depending on who you are.
Exactly.
Like, hey, if it's one of their friends and family, you better believe they're going to do something about it and make it a public issue.
Right.
But if it's their kid doing something, you better not say anything. I mean, they've laid down the law pretty clear. I just gotta point out Sergeant Jones in my videos. I mean, he's just classic. I mean, he just like right out of a comic book. He's right, like I said, right out of a comic, like a cliche for bad policing. When I saw it happen, I was, you got to be kidding me. I even asked him when he gave me the trespass warning. I say, this is unlawful, right? And he goes to me, yes, it is unlawful. Like, did he not just hear me? I repeated myself. I said, this is unlawful, right? And he goes, yeah, Yeah, it is unlawful. Like, so now this guy just admitted on video that what he was doing was unlawful. Let me ask a third time. But let me say the entire sentence this time. I said, so this trespass that you're giving me is unlawful. And he's like, that's correct. I'm like, what just happened to me? Like, I just walked into the Twilight Zone. So now I have a cop that tells me he doesn't know why he's giving me this. I have a cop telling me what he's giving me is unlawful. He's asking me to sign a piece of paper that he knows nothing about or why it was issued. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a Twilight Zone. I walked in. I worked. This is like the anti-police. What is it? The Bizarro world. From the superheroes. Everything is reversed. Everything is reversed here.
Yeah.
Cobb County, Georgia. And then you're talking about retaliation. One of the cops that I filed a complaint on, he lives across the street from me. So I was out walking my dog one night, and I make sure I run my body cam. And I was up at the end of the street, and him and his buddies were drinking, and he got into his truck, and he started slow rolling toward me. He started driving up the street, but going like 1 or 2 miles an hour, just kind of idling up towards me. And he did this for the entire length of the block, trying to intimidate me with his lights off. And it was dark. Well, he didn't know I had my camcorder on. So when he got up close to me, where he could see me, I went like this. I showed him I got the body cam going. And then he spit off.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they're dirty bastards.
Have you ever talked to any lawyers?
I can't afford a lawyer.
I'm trying to think. There's a few really good activists that are down around your area. You know who American Amy is?
Yeah, I'm actually
Amanda.
Yep, sure do.
Nick, Wrights Crispy, Jay Surreal. They're all just down in Florida, and they come up to Georgia and stuff like that a lot too. So
there's the Peachtree is one of them, and she actually has a yearly party with a bunch of First Amendment auditors, and I'm just within the last few weeks. I just started talking with her and some of the other more local people. And the Georgia Freedom Network, a guy who's in South Georgia, real good.
Yeah.
He just put a lawsuit against Newton County. I think he won. He just got a settlement. I'm not sure. And then we got Caucasian Sasquatch. He's in South Georgia.
Yeah.
Which I saw you on. And then there's a few of us out here, and I'm just starting to make contact with them.
No, there's also another guy that's been doing a lot of work and covers a lot of stuff like this too. And as long as you don't mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this video, this live stream here with a couple of the bigger guys I know. One of them, the guy's name is Brian, and he's got a channel called High Impact Flicks. This guy has got about, 300,000 subscribers or something like that. The guy is big, and when he does something, usually people listen. He gets a lot of views. And then there's also San Joaquin Valley Transparency, another guy with over 350,000. subscribers. When I
NC
got
Tyrant
arrested, when I got arrested in my bedroom. Now, my video only may have 2,700 views, but he did a video on me and it's got over 50,000 views already and keeps climbing. So, like, when this guy puts out a video and High Impact Flicks put out a video, it gets recognized. We've had maybe 5-10 people here in and out, people dropping in and out. I am broadcasting on 3 different channels right now to try and get this out as far and as wide as we can. But I will, again, I'm only a small channel. I can only do the best I can by doing stuff like this in the hope and pray that people pick this story up and get this story out there so that we can get, this has got to stop.
We
There's way
we
too
also
much.
have a lot of big. We also have a lot of bigger guys in the States too that may even reach out to you if they're coming your way, if they're going through your area to give you a hand with something if you need it at some point too. So like there's a lot.
And
of
they
big,
do.
We have a lot of big at 1A community that watch us too.
Yeah,
and they do. A lot of big guys do come through. Like NC Tyrant Hunter.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gets this far south, but he goes around a bit. And I've talked back. He's been on my channel a couple times. He pops in.
I believe that NC Tyrant Hunter just moved down to Florida.
I'm not. Did he do a couple of broadcasts down there, or did he actually move down there?
Now, somebody was telling, I don't know this for sure, but somebody was mentioning not too long ago that NC Tyrant Hunter might have moved to Florida. But you know that NC Tyrant Hunter is part of what's called ANN, which is Activist News Network that they have on Roku TV. So there's you got Chuck Bronson, NC Tyrant Hunter, Acura Amanda, Big Nick, Jay Surreal, Rice Krispie, and a few others that started this, and they have their own network on Roku, and they cover a lot of stories like this too.
Wow.
So what I'll do is I'll reach out to Rice Krispie too, and a few others, and what I'll do is I'll just send them this video. I'll send the link to this video to every one of them. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that in there that when I send them the email with this link, I'll send them your email address so that they can contact you also directly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
yeah, I mean, look, I just started out maybe, 4 or 5 months ago. And, I had no intention on. I put this stuff on there mainly because I was afraid, because I felt like I was absolutely alone in all of this. Here I am, this one guy who really doesn't socialize that much. And, so I didn't realize that so many people were having all the same kind of problems. And then I posted that for a video. Next thing you know, I got 50 hits, I got 100 hits, I got 50 subscribers, I got 100. I was like, whoa. And then NC Tyrant Hunter gave me a mention, and I got like another 100 subscribers like right away, like immediately. And then some of my videos, they're like topping out like 7,000 views, and that's after a couple of months. But like I said, I am just learning all of this. This is all brand spanking new. And a lot of the guys know me.
Yeah.
Like NC Tyrant Hunter, he knows me.
And
AFA, he knows my name.
Oh, right on. And you notice right here we have a big person from California here right now, M Star Media. I
knows
don't know
me.
if you met her.
She was on my live stream this morning, I believe.
Oh, right on. I hate to be biased like this, but she's my favorite. I love this girl to death. Her and I have been friends for years, so I got a lot of respect for her. She does a lot of good work, and who knows, maybe she may even try and
Get me out
put
there.
this out there too. So
Yeah, well, M-Star, were you at my live stream this morning over at police headquarters and when I went to CPS? I don't see her answering.
yeah, she says she's lurking and cooking. So it
Oh,
is
okay.
6 o'clock in the afternoon or evening there. So oh yeah, she says yes, she was.
Yeah, so I don't know why you can't see the live stream yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
M-Star, can you see my video up yet on my page, my channel? Because Shane Canadian says he can't see that video yet. Yeah, and thank you, M-Star, for being there. I really appreciate everyone that showed up. Made me feel like I wasn't alone. I mean, that's a scary place to be. I never know what they're going to do. You know, a person is killed in the United States every day by a police officer, about every single day. And all they have to do is say police safety, and they get away with it. It's insane. Hey, thanks, I'm sorry. But she's gonna look on my webpage to see if it's popped up yet. Not yet.
Yeah,
That might take a day or two.
Yeah. Or who knows? YouTube. If it's got something bad, if you got something bad to say about a government agency, they may not let you put it up. So.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think, well, no, there was nothing on that video that even compared to some auditors. No, not even close. And I don't say anything crazy. I don't, I know my position and what I should and shouldn't say. I'm not going to give them gas to put on the fire. I'm not going to give them juice so they could accuse me of doing something that I'm not doing.
Yeah. So I gotta go here. Don't mind me. I am here in the background. Apparently there's a few people that might want to ask a few questions. I didn't post the link yet.
Yeah, please
because
do.
what I wanted to do is I wanted you to get your story out there first, uninterrupted as much as possible, and then let people pop up and ask some questions if they want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pin the link here. Just will let my computer catch up here a bit, but
We've had quite a few people in and well,
Oh, there was 8 people
for a little while. Gorilla Circle's been in the chat. I know What's Truth is over on the Chad.
we got
Keeper of the
Prairie
List
Girl.
is over there, just shouting out our regular mods here. There are really, yep.
And then we got Wish Studios
Epic
in the
Cop
house.
Watch was in here. He probably gave us I'll subscribe to you as well. He's one of our fellow Canadian.
Yeah. So
I used to live up near Buffalo. I used to go to Canada all the time. I lived near Buffalo. I used to go up to the casinos in Ontario.
You used to, sorry, what was that?
I used to live next to Buffalo, and I used to go across the border to go play at the casinos in Ontario. Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. Yeah. At the Fallsview Casino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been there a few times.
And I used to go to the charity casinos.
Yeah. I used to live in, I stayed in St. Catharines for about a year and a half and ran an ice cream company there for a while. So, and I used to go down to as far down as Niagara Falls and that with the ice cream. So I'm here to so yeah, it's
the Canadian side's nice.
Yeah.
The American side is a slum.
I remember back in 88 or 89, something like that. Maybe 89. Me and my girlfriend, we used to walk. We stayed in Niagara Falls for 15 days. And we used to walk across the border every day, show our birth certificates, pay 25 cents, go in the park,
Yep.
fuck around a little bit, make it look good, like we're fucking and everything in the park. And then we would go pick up what we needed to pick up, what we were actually there for, and then cross the other border and come back that way. And, we bring back like a carton of smokes and a bottle of booze each, right? Because you were allowed to back then. If you just went over for like a day, that was the maximum you could bring over. But they didn't know that I was carrying 3 kilos of cocaine on me, and my girlfriend had 3 kilos of cocaine on her, and we're walking across the border with 6 kilos of coke, and we're getting paid
insane.
we're getting paid $2,000 a key to do this, right? So we would get, at the end of it, the guards used to, at the border, they used to say, "Now there's no more fucking in the park, you two." And my girlfriend, she went right red all of a sudden, and that, and we got the backpack and that, and we were going over there and we were fucking, because we fucked everywhere, right? It didn't matter. We just went. We were like rabbits, but we did this to sort of like throw them off, and it worked. And then all of a sudden,
nice to be young.
Yeah. We're going back a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, back then, I remember in the early 90s, they used to be pretty easy on the marijuana in Canada. I mean, it's legal now. Back then, it wasn't. We used to go up to Toronto for the Flower Street. What's the big main strip there? And there used to be Yonge Street, and you used to be able to buy seeds. You weren't able to buy the marijuana, but you were able to buy seeds.
Yeah, I remember that place. I used to sell pot right outside of it. Well, sorry, hash. I never sold pot. I only sold hash.
Yeah, they sold all the paraphernalia. They sold marijuana seeds, and that was like at the beginning where they started talking about legalizing, marijuana way back when.
No, not Regent Park, Gorilla. We're talking Yonge Street. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, that place was about 4 doors north of the Zanzibar. And when you went in, you used to have to go up the set of stairs to get to where the seeds were in that store, right? Yep. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
It was like a great building.
We're talking about the same damn place, aren't we? Jesus. Yeah. The small world.
Yeah,
but it was only a few hours away from me, so it was like a neat place to visit, And it was always a strange place, that area, and it was neat. I'm not that. I'm from the Bronx. Yeah, New York is a lot different from Toronto. Toronto's a little more free spirited, I guess you'd call it.
Well, back in the 90s. We had a housing project in Toronto called Regent Park, and for a few years it beat out the Bronx, beat out East LA, everything, for the worst neighborhood in North America. That's how much crime and that was going on there. They literally had their own police station right in the park.
Well, that's when crack was big. That's when crack was still like a major thing. People were going crazy back then, with it.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit that was going on, a lot of shootings and that. In a country where you're not really allowed to fucking we don't have a Second Amendment like you guys do. We don't have the right to bear arms. We have we have a right to have hunting rifles and that. We can apply to get permits to get handguns for doing, shooting at the range and stuff like that. But we can only use firearms for hunting. That's it. We can't use firearms for self-defense. And
Here,
Most
you know, go ahead. There's a town by me, just north of me. It's Kennesaw, I think. When you move into Kennesaw, you're actually required to purchase a handgun. Every homeowner is required to have a handgun.
Huh,
Yeah, but you know what? There is no home invasions there,
I
and
guess not.
the crime rate is almost nothing
Yeah,
because everyone knows that everyone that lives there has a firearm. So who's going to break into their house and who's going to commit a crime because they know everyone has a gun because they have to. They legally have to own a firearm there.
yeah. I heard something like that about Salt Lake City or something too.
Yeah, there's places in Texas, towns in Texas that you have to own a pistol.
Yeah, but yet you get guys like uh, Texas Sheepdog 72 and James Freeman and them that were down in um, Leon Valley and that. Like Texas Sheepdog 72, Joe Savaggio fucking raided his house and took all of his weapons and everything. The guy was, he was an ex jail guard or something. TX 72. Of course, he's going to have weapons, but because he had a camera in that, they did that, what was called the Leon Valley Press Conference, the same as the Almost County press conference, where they just rounded up all the fucking auditors and arrested every one of them in Almost Park. They did a Second Amendment carry with C.J. Grissom and Texas Sheepdog 72 and that. And the cops come out and they were tasing people and everything because they were legally carrying. So it's strange that we have laws and rights, but when you exercise those rights, you could get shot for them.
Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, it's like you have the right to defend yourself, but yeah. I mean, let's say a cop acts unlawfully or unconstitutionally,
yeah,
and violates your rights, and you defend yourself against that cop.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You will go to jail no matter what. Even if you're in the right and you're allowed to defend yourself, you're still going to be charged with something.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what. Yeah. No matter what. Even if the cop broke the law, violated your rights, and you did not break the law, and you are right and allowed to defend yourself, you will still be charged with a crime.
Yeah. And what they do is, and this is a mentality.
Make something up.
Well, the mentality is that let's trump up whatever we can on these people and let the courts decide whether we did our job right or not. That's not proper policing. And like we have you guys in the States there, in California, for instance, one sheriff's department, okay, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, from 2012 to 2018, or from 2008 to 2016 or something like that, an 8-9 year span, they were sued for over $550 million, and there's still about $150 million lawsuits being filed right now that'll probably go through that. So that'll bring it up to 700 million. Now, what would that 700 million do for the city of Los Angeles alone? And that's just one sheriff's department. And this is happening all over, and people don't seem to realize that. I've been telling people to, grab your balls, start standing up, and start filming these guys.
Go watch one of Wandering Hippie's latest videos that shows the crime reports, the police violence reports, where it actually shows the police committing murders almost every day in this country. Well, Hippie, when I read that, it blew my mind away.
There's 4 times as many people getting killed in the U.S. by cops than they are by fucking mass shooters. It's proven statistics. It's right there. When you got a police force like police in the States that are killing over 1,000 people a year, you know that you have a problem. And you know, Canada, believe it or not, is the second worst country when it comes to this. We have a lot of police shootings, but nobody hears about them. But we are the second worst country in the world when it comes to police shootings. I knew two right down here, for instance, where I live, one in New Brunswick and one right across the border in Nova Scotia, where two Indigenous people were shot because of trigger happy RCMPs.
Come on up, VA.
So, you know, for them to
she's actually in your area. This lady here that wants to come up. Sorry, Ash. I apologize for interrupting, brother. I just noticed something. I was checking something out in the chat from the chats, but this lady here is actually in your area, and she was actually a former government official in her area.
Who?
That's Michelle. Ash.
Oh, okay.
VA issues and prepping. That's Michelle.
Yeah, have her come up.
She's in your. She lives in your area, and yeah, come on up.
Have
Michelle.
her come up.
So yeah, maybe she may be able to help out.
I'd love to hear what she has to say. I mean that. I really would love to hear what she has to say. If she has any questions for me.
Very amazing woman. Oh, she may have some advice for you too. Being that she was a government official in her, in her area.
And
I'm looking.
Here she is.
I'll get the banner. Just a second.
Don't worry about the. What are you talking about? How are you, Michelle?
Doing fine, Ash. How you doing?
Not bad. So
how you doing, Chad?
I take it you've been listening to what ATL Audits has got to say here?
Ever since you came on.
Chad, what are you doing?
That's her.
We don't need that.
I was putting the banner up just to make sure it was her.
It's been up for a while already.
Yeah. What's up, Chad? You're a little late.
Yeah, I know. I was lagging a little bit.
What it was, you were sleeping on the job.
It was you when you first spoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how you doing, Atlanta Audits?
All right.
Yeah, I live down in Clayton County. I know you live a little north of me.
Yeah.
We have the same little issue down here with the county, where the schools, the Clayton County school system, they have the little white cars, but when the schools are out, they ride the streets and run like they're real cops now, and they're not. I mean, I'm waiting for one of them suckers to give me a ticket for anything. When I go to court, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna take pictures of the car. Say, well, this is a Clayton County school. It says on the car, Clayton County school system car police. I said, he has no jurisdiction out here giving me a ticket. Not unless I'm on school property. And I'm not on school property. So they do the whole same thing again. Yes, I'm an elected official of the town I'm in, that I live in, city council.
Okay.
But
it's a friends and family network, isn't it?
Huh?
It's a friends and family network, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. They I put in a side chat earlier. I said, if you really want to go after them for your FOIA request or open records request and want to jerk you around on that for $1,000 or whatever, $4,000 that you said earlier, you can go to the state attorney general's office and report them for the Sunshine Law, and which they'll go to the legal department, and the legal department be on your side and just tell them what happened and proof. send any proof to them, and then they'll go to the administrator or to the city clerk, county clerk, or whatever that handles them records, and you can get them in a lot of trouble with the state.
Yeah, see, now the Cobb County School, they have their own FOIA officer, and the FOIA officer, prints up everything, and so everything is encapsulated inside the school system.
Well, if you go to the county, Cobb County, it'll be different, and they have to get the records from them. Their county attorney have to get the records from them, and they have to give them to you, because the county attorney is not going to go in trouble with the state attorney general's office.
All right, because every time I go to the Cobb County Human HR office to get these records, they tell me, well, I have to go to the school to get that.
No, you have to go contact one of the county. If I do a county FOIA request in Clayton County, I have to go through the county legal department first, and they will get the information for you. That's the way it's supposed to be. The school system, see, they try to find out when you do an open records request, and I do many of them. I mean, not only local, but I do federal stuff as well, which the Chad can tell you a lot about me. People don't want to know. They don't mess with me anyway. They actually tell me if the cops see me on the road, they want to look the other damn way if I'm going 5 miles over the speed limit. So, but go to the county attorney, go to the county law department, the county attorney's office, and tell them the problem you've been having. If they try to buck with you, tell them if not, you're going to go and you're going to make another complaint to the state, and they don't want that because that's a strike against them, and they can get them in trouble, and they can be fined a lot of money.
So the county lawyer I go to?
Yeah, you go to the county attorney.
Okay.
Whoever the county attorney's law office, they usually have more than one. And go there and put an open records request in, but the Clayton County attorney, and just leave it blank. Don't put no name on it. Just put Clayton County attorney, their address, blah blah blah, open records request, and then pursuant to such and such statute. The legal lingo, and you want all documents, all photocopies, side notes, photographs, videos, emails, or pictures, or you put all that in there. It covers every damn thing, and it might be 1 or 2 sheets, like you said. Then it could be up to 10, and whatever, but it shouldn't cost that much. It shouldn't cost no $4,000. They do that just to piss you off.
No, that's exactly what they did.
And I hope you still got that document that they told you, because they got it in an email. All right, put it in an email. Then if you have to go to the state attorney general's office, to their law department, that will get them in trouble, and the state will fine them very heavily. Now,
because in the Georgia Sunshine State law, it says if this is a matter of public interest, they could waive the charge.
Right, I know that, but sometimes they don't. Right now, see, a lot of people don't understand in Georgia, in your cities, your counties, your school boards, they are incorporated. In other words, by their charter, they're incorporated. They are a business. They're not your friend.
Yeah,
they're there to make money. That's how come they have these speed traps. Or let me take that back. They don't like speed traps. Let's use road safety checks. That's what they use now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, that I hope that will help you out. Chad, if he needs, or Ash, well, Chad's got my information. He's got my email. If he needs to get a hold of me, please give it to him, please.
Yep,
yeah, I think my next stop is going to be over to the county attorney, the attorney general's office. I'm at the point now where I could take it up to the next level because I've contacted everyone
Right.
at the,
They give you a
at the
runaround.
front line. At the front, I connected everyone at the front line. Now I could go to more of the officers, so I
Right.
could
That's
take it
higher
up.
up. Higher up the chain, the food chain.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm heading.
Because the city clerk or the county clerk, the county clerk will usually forward it to the law department. But I would send it straight to them for a FOIA request, and then if they kick it back to you, that gives them the county attorney in trouble. See, they can be debarred here in Georgia for stupid crap like this. See, all these are attorneys, except for the city clerk or the city attorneys, county attorneys. They can get some. The bar association comes into play with them. So, but that would be my suggestion, to go to them first. Now,
right.
Florida has a very good bar system where they'll go after an attorney. Georgia will slap them on the wrist because they hadn't paid their dues yet to their organization. And if you're not a attorney in a case, if they're not your attorney in a case and they misrepresented you or did something to harm your case, they kind of give them a slap on the wrist, because a lot of attorneys get debarred for a lot of different reasons.
One
I know.
question
I
for
need
you.
to take this up a notch. I'm not going to go away. That's for sure. I'm thinking.
No,
I'm thinking
I don't go away either.
They're hoping I'm going to go away, and I'm not. This is my life purpose now.
Right. I don't go away either, because I do a lot of. Go ahead, Ash.
Are you guys allowed to do homeschooling there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that might be a good idea then. Maybe
or move out of that county.
If you start,
I yanked my kid out.
out and homeschooling.
I yanked my kid out of the school. I'm sending him to Catholic school.
Oh, right.
I got him out of Cobb County altogether, and I'm putting him in, because the Catholic school falls under the Archdiocese of Atlanta, so they're in a completely different system than Cobb County.
Right.
They're in Cobb County, but they have a different jurisdiction, I guess, in a way. I made sure that, and the principal told me, no, we fall under the Archdiocese of Atlanta.
Right.
So now my son is in a safe place now. He's out of their system.
Good.
Yeah.
It's either that or move.
Right
Yeah.
One of the two things.
Yeah.
So, but I fight the VA too on a federal level. So I'm say everybody hates me.
I fight the VA too. I constantly file White House complaints.
Yeah, I do. Now the regular stuff, your medical stuff, except for your CP exams, has to go.
Email in private for you if you want Alberta audits or Atlanta audits.
What's that?
Michelle's email is in the private chat.
Private for you.
Okay.
But I'm a vet. I'm a disabled combat vet sniper. But your CP exams is through the regional office, but your other medical records or your C-file, you have to go through open records request through the main regular hospital itself.
Yeah, well, did you get the? You can do it online now.
Yeah, you can do it online, but yeah, I like to give them problems.
Yeah.
They give me problems, so I like to give them the same courtesy back, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, they're you know what? I go to the West Cobb VA and the Atlanta VA. Let me tell you, some of the nastiest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah. Like I said,
you come across bad people. Well, these are just as bad.
Yeah, they see the way the VA in Atlanta works, and I was sitting next to the booth trying to get a record of my CP exam, and you know how close the booths are, real close, you can hear each other. And and the lady that was talking, she was on the phone. She said, "I got another smelly ass vet in front of me that wants a damn pay raise, and here we have to work 8 hours a day for our money and work hard, and here they sit on their ass and don't do a damn jack shit for their money." And
I think you were talking to the same person.
So you know they do that all the time. Now I do have a friend at the VA, and they've been giving her problems. She is for the vets, and she's with the male and female with MST. She made her own program. The regional director at the time was different. I don't know if he's the same one or not. They built a brand new home up in North Cobb County, a $1 billion home, and then in the VA, his wife worked in his office, but she had to report to somebody up in Washington D.C. to get around the law where you can't have family members working for the same office with you or the same job. So, but she was right up in there. So I got another CP. I got a CP exam on the 6th, on the 6th of this month, and now on the 1st of this coming month, I got a part 2 of another exam. They want to take a look at me, and everything.
What's the CP exam?
It's your compensation and pension exam when you want a pay increase in your check.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I usually outsource it to another company. The VA don't do it. They outsource it. But my stuff was on appeal. The VA already denied me on it, and I appealed it in 2014. So they owe me a lot of back money.
Yeah, I'm trying to get mine pushed back because they gave me the wrong date when they started mine. They should have started it 5 years earlier, but someone made a mistake in my medical records and didn't write down the compensation exam.
All right.
So I have to get them to correct the medical record so I could get them to backdate me.
All right. Yeah.
What a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they do all kinds of tricks, and when you want to go for an appointment, they ask you what date do you prefer, but then they try to backdate it even further, and so it goes off that call list that they have to. They got a call list thing that they have to take right away.
I know what you're talking about.
And something else you don't know, they got they do have a secret emailing system that only the doctors and the nurses and any employee of the VA can write about any patient they want, and they don't go through the main system. It's a private emailing system, and I did open records requests on that when I found out about it, and they got me confused with another vet, and so about being pregnant, and I said, no, I'm not pregnant. And they had complications. I said no, and that was the only thing. But they do talk about vets behind on that private server, and they do have it. So,
what do you know the name of the server?
I have to look it up. Look at my records here. I'll get it to you as soon as I can.
Yeah. I got a lot of things on my plate right now.
I think it's a patient something. A patient advocacy email system. They call it some weird acronym. You know how the government is. So
yeah.
But yeah, they're some dirty people. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, I started video recording them a long time ago.
But be careful when you do the VA hospital. Don't use your phone. try to use a pen camera or something that is inconspicuous. They wouldn't think it's a camera because even when the employees, their own employees, a couple of years back, protested in front of the VA hospital. It was on a public sidewalk. They made them go across the street on the other side. So they say they own that sidewalk. And the VA police now is not under the hospital no more. They took that out about 2007, 2008, maybe. They took it out and put them under the U.S. Attorney General's office. So if you get a bad conduct, or your wife, your son, or anybody that goes with you to help you, and they get in an argument with them, they call the police, and they can get a bad conduct charge, and they'll be hauled down to the federal building, and they can go to the federal jail, federal prison on it. On a vet down, they will see if they're on the meds or not, but they'll make that determination when they get you to the federal building.
Yeah, you know what? That's why I don't like the VA. I mean, the government is in your medical records and everything else under the sun. I don't like that shit.
And the cops too. The cops has all that information as well. They did what's called a collaboration with any law enforcement. So when they pull you over, they already know all about you and your medical history and everything, that you're a vet, you got PTSD, whatever, and mine is very severe. And I have flashbacks, the whole shebang. So I'm going to get like 1 or 2 hours sleep a night, and I'm up all day and all night, and I haven't been to bed in 5 days still.
Comes back to you, huh?
Huh?
Comes back to you?
Well, yeah, it comes back. Recurring dreams, bad dreams, and flashbacks and all that stuff, yeah.
It's hard to get kicked.
I get that quite a bit too. I'm not a veteran by any means, and I got mad respect for veterans. But I worked in an industry where I would literally see the worst of the worst people, and over the 35 years that I worked in shelters and that, I found over 500 people dead. So that really plays on me a lot. I've seen a woman get shot right in front of me. I've seen police shootings right in front of me. I've seen firefighters fall out of fucking trees and everything and snap their necks. And I had a very bad beating by the police that sort of topped it all off. So I know what you guys go through. It's maybe not the same as what you guys went through, but I kind of understand when it comes to seeing the dead bodies and stuff like that.
Right.
And having the reoccurring nightmares and not being able to sleep. So I know what it's like there. Maybe not as much as you guys, but I do understand what you're going through.
I wasn't a combat vet. I was a lab technician. I did cleanup.
Oh, okay. But it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what.
Said and done, I came and I cleaned everything up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what job you had. You're still a vet, regardless of combat or not. I don't care if you're flipping hamburgers, carrying the garbage out, you're a mechanic, or tanker, or airplane mechanic, or putting bombs, strapping them to the planes, or submariner, or whatever.
You get categorized in because you're like a combat veteran. I was in a combat zone, but not a combat veteran. So he gets a different rating at the VA. You get could you get a different like a 1A or something like that?
If I can remember correctly, I think so.
Yeah, I'm in like group 1. He gets group 1A, so he gets like appointments within. He should be able to get appointments within a certain period of time.
Right, and all my stuff is service connected, so
yeah,
I don't have to pay for my health care.
Well, that's what happens. So I know there's different levels depending on what kind of a medals you got too. You get different ratings at the VA.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you got a Purple Heart, you go right in. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for appointments. You get seen immediately every
Right.
time.
Yeah, my
If you got a
dad,
Purple
my
Heart.
my dad was a POW in the Korean War for 3 years.
Yeah.
Died as a POW, never came home. So he was in Camp 1. So, but anyway, yeah. So we got a lot in common, Atlanta Audits, as well as Ash and Chad.
Well, how many
we
many
all
rows
have
do
a
you have?
common goal.
Yeah, that's a little bit more like it.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't like violence. I just
Yeah,
don't
well-
like. I don't like violent people.
well-
I don't like ignorant people. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like ignorant people. I don't like stolen valor people. I don't like draft dodgers. If I see someone as a draft dodger or a stolen valor person on the street, I'll yank that uniform. And I know for a fact, by the way they carry themselves, the ribbons are not on right with them. They usually put the medals and everything and ribbons. It's obvious. Yeah, I ripped that uniform completely off their damn body down to the skivvies. So, but I'm a nice person until I get attacked. Boy, even in real life, hand-to-hand combat I'm very good at. I'm a walking weapon. I don't necessarily have to have a gun to put somebody. I like to hit a bones crunch. I love to hit them bones crunch. Put somebody in a hospital for about 6 months to 2 years, if I could.
My battery's running low on my PC.
Uh-oh.
I still got some time. We've been on for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down. I'll let you know. I'm down. I'm down in
Clean, right?
Clayton County, down in Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Down near the airport. Down there where Forest Park, Riverdale, Jonesboro, Lake City.
I just sent you an email, by the way.
Okay.
The email that was posted in the private chat.
Yeah.
I sent you a test email, so I got just so you can have my email address.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We just got to stick together. Like I said, I'd be glad to help you with open records requests because I do them and FOIA requests all the time. So
yeah, if I'm going to give it a shot again here, and if I run into some kind of problem, I'll give you an update on what I'm doing and see if you can't point me in the right direction.
Yeah. That's. Even when I was elected official, I mean, I had people come knocking on my door on Saturday and Sunday, and even if I didn't know where to handle it, I sent them to the place I know that point them in the right direction to get the information they needed.
Yeah, because these guys, they're covering up crimes against children in this place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They really are, and I just it blows me away that they're even remotely allowed to do this, and the gross neglect from the police department.
Well, the school system is basically dumb. I hate to say this, the dumbing down the children.
Yeah, that's why I got them out of there.
Yeah, they're dumbing down the children, so they want to make them stupid as possible, think it's party time and be entertained. And us vets, we know what's fixing to happen. So you got to be prepared. And that's why I said that's what my VA issues. And then prepping, I'm also into prepping. So, but we all know what's fixing to happen and what's fixing to come down the line. And it's just not one political party; it's all of them together.
Yeah, it is. I don't see a political party here. I really don't, because I think they all pretty much work in sync. They're all on the same team. They're all on the government's team.
Well, yeah, like in Congress, when they're on cameras, they fight like cats and dogs and can't get along. But when them cameras go off, oh man, they're the best of buddies. Oh, hey Joe, we go over here to your place and eat. Or Mitch, oh, we go over here to your what you over there? You want to go to the bar together or whatever? You know, they're all best of buddies.
Why do you think they like Hollywood so much? They're learning how to put on a show.
Right.
That's what they're doing. They're putting on a show for ratings and votes. They're not.
Right.
They don't talk to people. They don't help people. They're putting a show on for people.
Right. And all that special interest they got going on, the dark money. It doesn't matter which side it is. All of them got that dark money, the lobbyists
That's
up there.
insane.
Lobbying.
I've seen some of that money. I've seen some of that money roll out. That's insane what they have.
Right, I know. And actually, and then when they kick the can down, when they can't pay the bills at the end of the year, when they said the government's going to be shut down, and they either they get to make a deal to kick the can down the road a while. Congress made a law back in when they gave up the right to the Federal Reserve of auditing the Federal Reserve. I think it was 1950 something or 40, somewhere around there. That Congress gave up them the auditing the Federal Reserve. So that's how come now the Federal Reserve is a private banking cartel. But Congress also passed where if they can't pay their bills, they get paid regardless, even though they lay off federal employees. They cut the veterans' pay. Don't get their checks, or they used to, and the retirement checks and Social Security, and make everybody else hurt. But they get their damn money, and half of them up there are billionaires themselves, own their own private law firms for corporate greed and corporate big money law firms they own for their clients of each other to get them out of trouble.
Yeah.
So
I know. It's a big ball wrong.
Yeah.
It all stems around, all of that is all, misdirection.
Yep.
Because you know what? With my story, kids are being abused.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They'll take it to every direction. As I show in my videos, I go into the police station and say, I'm reporting this. The next thing I know, the cop is talking about the color of his shoes. A half hour into him talking about his shoes, I go, hey, you remember why I'm here, right? I'm here because of the child abuse. Right. I want him to cue back in to know that I haven't lost my train of thought.
Right.
And then I'm still on the topic, but if you want to talk about your shoes or how the world is working out, go ahead. But you know what? I still want to report this abuse.
Right. By the way, I already subbed up to you already, so.
All right, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Man, you gave me a lot of good info here. Good conversation, man. Good conversation.
Yeah, I was down in chat, and I said, I hope he was reading it. So
yeah, I was kind of going back and forth. So
yeah, but I just want to support. I want to support Chad and Ash, and I'm glad Ash is doing. He's doing real well and all that good stuff, and what he's gone through here lately. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, it freaked me out when I saw the cop walking into his room there.
Yeah. They won't do that stuff at my house. I can tell you that. I see them before they see me, and every inch of my property is covered. And I know how many feet it is to the sidewalk, to my mailbox, each tree. Even put 2 cars in my driveway, so I know the feet between the 2 cars. So if I need to lay down some good old snooky grass eating lawnmower and crap, they'll get it if it need be.
Yeah. I'm not at that point yet, but
Chad has seen my nice little cabinet I made, and
yeah.
he'll tell you. Yeah, he loves it.
Well, if you're going to be a prepper, you need that.
Well, I'm fixing to get me a. I'm planning looking at selling my house. My house is paid off, and I found me some 178 acres of land with a lake on it. I'm gonna put two log cabins on it with high roofs on it.
Can I come?
Living the life.
And I'll be needing the second log cabin will be someone that can do security for the property, and build a little guard shack where they have to come in and out, and they don't have they're not getting in if they don't. It's private property. We'll have a fence all the way around the property with razor wire on top of it. So and stuff. And my dogs, I got 4 dogs, and one of them are mean as hell. So
Well, the nice thing about having a piece of property like that is the police can't just walk up to your front door.
right.
You know, they
And
need that warrant.
I got cameras all around my house already here, so I see them before they see me. Infrared, every front backyard,
That didn't
everything.
help me.
And plus, I got my son. Go ahead,
when
Ash.
I was arrested, in my bedroom, there was 8 cameras that were out on my property, and I had my my camera going, plus my cell phone going, plus I was doing a live stream.
Right.
And the cops still didn't care, and they erased the footage on my phone and my camera, and they erased the footage on all my fucking security cameras that I had. They went right to the hard drive and went.
Well, mine, it goes to the cloud automatically, and it's password protected.
See,
they can't get to it.
My security system wasn't hooked up to the internet. I don't believe in having a security system hooked up to the internet, because then anybody can hack into it, right? Including
No,
police.
not mine. Not mine. They can't do mine.
Well,
I got safeguards against all my stuff. Believe me. But anyway, they all my stuff automatically. If any interruption goes into my feeds, it gets all preloaded into the cloud. And if you ain't got the cloud password, you're not getting in. And it's one hell of a humdinger of a password.
Yeah.
I gotta get going.
Well, nice meeting you. Be safe out there, brother. If you need me, email me, and I'll if you need me, I'll send you my cell later on. And
all right, that sounds good.
And all that, if you need to call and talk or whatever, and it's better than talking on the phone than it is emailing, because that can get tiresome too.
Yeah.
That way you can text back and forth and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I'll send you my phone number.
All right, brother. You take care.
All right.
Be safe.
Thanks a lot. Hey, Ash, thanks for having me on tonight, man.
No worries, brother. Thank you for showing up, and thanks for sharing your story, man. Again, this needs to get out, and anybody that's here, actually, please go over, and if you haven't already, subscribe to ATL Audits. It's under ATL Auditor, U.S. Constitution, and just let them know that I sent you over there. And make sure that you subscribe to this guy and follow him, and try and get this story out. And check out all of his other videos, and he will even say here to share his videos and that, so that we get this message out, so that we can stop all this corrupt government bullshit.
Absolutely.
Share those videos with children.
Share those videos, man. All right, thank you.
So thank you, and you have a wonderful night, and please let me know if there's any updates to that. Keep us informed. I'll always try and check in with you to see what's happening, and maybe we can do a follow-up in a month or so and see what's going on, see if anything has changed.
Sounds good.
Okay, brother. You take care, man.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. So, wow. That was a bit of a long one. It was kind of an impromptu one. I was talking with this guy last week, and that he wanted to get it out, and I kind of I get a lot of emails every day, and I kind of missed it, and it was like the last chance type thing, so I got right in there. And we have your brother here in arms, but when I
Hey,
see
Raj.
that, it's like
Right.
I'll set up a stream right away.
Hold on. I gotta shut this off. There we go. All right, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Hello,
no worries.
everybody.
How are you, brother?
Doing good.
Hello,
Fat and
Raj.
happy.
How are you?
Hey, Chad, how you doing? Yeah, I told you I'd come up here.
Not bad.
Well, welcome. Thank you. Oh, man,
Yeah.
it's getting busy here now. Who's this? Oh, we have another
Yes.
Canadian celebrity in the house.
Hey guys,
Oh, okay.
How are you, brother?
not bad. I was just over on the Slow Burner show, and my God, what a shit show that was.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I kind of had to leave after Rebel City News or Dorks or whatever the goddamn name he uses this week, and I had to leave. Plus, I had to set up for this live stream, so.
Yeah, no, it was a bit like a Jerry Springer show over there today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I prefer to do stuff like we were just doing here, with the way we've been doing the shows and that. So, kind of waited for our guests to leave and that, and then all of a sudden, more people started popping in. I appreciate that. We try to only have one person up to ask questions at a time, and then pop them down, and then bring somebody else up while we do the show. But afterwards, it's like this will be a free for all until we all decide to leave. Now,
Well,
so,
I just wanted to help him. I didn't know if y'all was reading the chat, and
yeah,
I waited a little while and let y'all talk and just to come up and I didn't really have a question. I was just trying to help him out because
and that's why I did the show. I was hoping that maybe at least one person that was in his area or something might pick this up and be able to do some kind of help in any way, small or big, and just to get his message out there.
well, he's a little north of me, but still,
Yeah.
he's in Cobb County. He's about on a good day, I could probably be there in Cobb County in about 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But it's not that far, but still, and with traffic, you're looking at a couple of hours.
Yeah.
These people can't drive down here, even when it's dry. But I just want to help him out with, the different type where he should go to the county attorney first with it, and then let them get the information from the school system to give to him, which that should happen. And then if they didn't do it and say you had to go here, save the email and then carry it and use it against them when you go to the state attorney general's office or secretary of state's office or whatever, and get them there for the sunshine law, and they're violating the sunshine law. So
yeah. And that's why I do these shows. There may be a flood of help. There may only be one person, but if we can get at least one person to help,
right,
put them on the right path, and then I feel like the show is doing what we set out to do. So,
right,
we're here to help.
Right.
And that's what I like to see is like people coming together, joining together for unity,
right,
for the cause that we're actually out there for, not to be sitting around and just bitching like a bunch of little schoolgirls on a Jerry Springer show. So
no disrespect to Slow Burner, he does have sometimes he does have a good show. Other times he has, other times it's the Jerry's, like we said.
Oh no, I actually jumped up there and I said, "Dude, you got to dig up Patrick Swayze, call Sam Elliott because your doorman is not doing his fucking job."
Where's Sam Elliott when you need him? So, yeah, I just, I
We'll have to
love
see.
doing
We'll
stuff
have to
like
see if
this.
Arnold's available for him.
I said I love doing stuff like this. I hate reporting on stuff like this about child abuse and that, about corruption and that. But I love bringing the story to people so that the story gets out there. Like I tell people, I'm not a big channel by any means, but if I can help, um, you know, I'll do what I can. If it means just getting the story out so that, maybe 15, 20 other people see it so that they can pass it on to maybe 15, 20 people more,
Right.
snowball effect. So,
True.
just, I got help when I had 47 subscribers. I'm not quite at 1,000 yet, but like I want to help other people. Kind of what I did my whole life. So
Yeah, I have to learn StreamYard and all that, and I don't have a laptop yet, so I got like 47. Well, listen at you, bad baby number one, evil baby, bad baby number one, I should say. But anyway, um, I got I think 47 subscribers already with no content. So,
yeah,
but I'm gonna have to learn everything when I get a laptop because I'm doing everything by my phone. So
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of hard and you're limited. So
Oh yeah, I've been there. I'm trying to get a new phone because the one I'm actually using I don't even own. So
oh okay,
I just take my chip out and put in that phone. But I got to get a new phone. I'm trying to get a little bit more equipment, but I'll work on that as it goes. I got my laptop; it's good enough. I got cameras now,
right.
so uh, I'm over halfway there. So
Yeah, if I get my money, I'm gonna break down, get me about 4 computer screens all hooked up together, and be on chat, whatever. Do what I need to do there. Buy me another phone. Upgrade my Samsung Fold from one to the fourth one, or the third one, or fourth one they got out, and then I got my sat phone. So, um, but and that's all I need. So I pay cash for everything I get. So
yeah, that's one thing. I owe absolutely nothing on anything that I own. Mind you, I don't own anything anymore except for some my YouTube stuff here that I
yeah,
have. I got lots of wires, headphones, and microphone, and the laptop. About
right,
5 different cameras, but all the wires and shit like that. But that's about it. That's all I own.
yeah. Well, like I said, I want to get that property, and then I want to get uh use one. See, a lot of people don't know with veterans you can have more than one VA loan. A lot of vets don't know that or don't understand that. So I want to buy my property and build, get me two log cabins built on one VA loan on the property, and use the second one to buy me a $97,000 Coachman motorhome bus type thing that comes out brand new, and I'm gonna do some traveling. But I'm gonna have to hire somebody to drive because I ain't no way I'm gonna be driving that big thing. Oh no, 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 no.
Yeah. Well, I just want to be able to literally retire. I've been trying to get out to the Okanagan, but because of the unicorns and butterflies, you can't cross provincial borders. There's a whole bunch of bullshit. I finally get around all that. Then you got the natural disaster. So now I'm about another year behind. So I'm going to be stuck where I am here for another year
Wow.
before I can even get out of this province. And all I want to do is be able to go out, take my trailer from one city, move it to the Okanagan, and fucking retire. To be able to live in peace, be able to grow a little garden, have my own little property and everything.
Yeah.
I can't do that here. Literally, the property that I live in, it's so close that they're not allowed to put vinyl siding on the house. They have to put metal siding on one side of the house because the property line is 6 inches from the house.
Wow.
Yeah. You
That
see the
sucks.
outline of where the house that they tore down was here. So we have no backyard. We have a little bit of a front yard. There's a couple little flowers here and that, but it's a pathway to get to the crawl space. There's a outside door with stairs that go down into the crawl space. And we don't
Right.
have a basement here. It's a crawl space, so we have no real room to grow anything here. So
Well, I live on acre of property with a house. It's a ranch home. It's a 3-bedroom, bath and a half, kitchen, living room, dining room, laundry room, and then the carport was made into, when I bought the house, was made into an activity room, which I made into another bedroom, which is my bedroom now.
yeah.
And so the master bedroom's got the both bathrooms are at is accessible on the other end of the house. I got a 96-inch TV hanging on the wall there.
Holy shit.
You can lay in bed and reach out there and almost touch the water of the TV screen if you want to. And I got TV in here in my room, so
I don't even
but
own a TV.
wow.
Hey, Josh, this is only the fourth one today.
You got more than I've done today.
Yeah, I think I did about 4 today too. I wasn't up on 4 of them, but
No, I was.
I think I was up on 2 or 3 plus this one. So
I'm just having a lazy day, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
You're getting caught up. You're getting caught up on what's going on now.
A little bit, yeah.
So
what's going on, right?
Rights for
Huh?
Vets
No, nothing.
and
Just
Michelle. I don't know if you know who this guy is, Canadian Rights Review, but this guy, have you ever heard of Audit the Audits?
I have vaguely, yeah.
Well, he is our Canadian version of Audit the Audits.
Oh,
and he
okay.
does great work. And he's just back in the seat again here. So hopefully we'll be able to see some more content coming from him soon. Because
Yeah, I think I might try and crank something out tomorrow.
Oh,
Wow.
right on.
Right on.
And then, of course, we're trying to work around see when he's available and have him come up and be on the show here to tell people what he's doing and
Yeah.
help him out a little bit like we help out everybody else. So
Yep, that's the best way.
Well, and much like with what Ashken's been trying to do here and stuff, and reach out to lots of people and be a hub to kind of help people.
Yeah.
In Canada, I've kind of, because I review other people's videos, historically, at least before I disappeared for a while, I was the one guy talking to all the Canadian auditors and stuff, and kind of trying to get everybody going in the same direction and make sure everybody was hopefully talking and using
Right.
each other for resources and shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I support the 1A community. I know there's a lot of new auditors coming out that don't really know what they're doing. Only thing they're going to have to learn from the auditors that has been out there for a while, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, well, the problem we usually have up here in Canada, because the auditing community is so much smaller, is a lot of the new auditors learn from watching the U.S. channels,
Yeah.
and then the laws are different.
all right,
So they go out, and you can tell usually in their first couple videos they've been watching too many U.S. audits.
all
So
right,
you got to kind of educate them a little bit, and that's part of what my channel is making sure they know the Canadian law, not the American law.
all right.
Yeah. And that's why I keep telling people, like, if you can, go online. I believe you can order it for free, a copy of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Not like it's doing us much good right now, but it would be a good thing for everybody to have, so
Yeah.
that they have it on them, and they understand what the laws are in Canada compared to the U.S. Because we got, um, we're a country with a tenth the population of the U.S. So obviously, like I probably know of about 700 auditors in the States, but I maybe know about 25 here in Canada.
All right.
And like I've been looking around in that, so um, there probably could be a lot more, but they're very very small, and they're very very hard to find. That's why I keep putting out all the time. If you have a video out there or something you're afraid to put it out, just send it to me, and I'll put it out for you. Like, um, whether it's anonymous, whether I have to do a little bit of editing to blur out a face or to
Yeah,
alter a voice or something, I'll find
yeah.
a way of doing it. But we need to get those videos out there.
And
So
a lot of the young auditors in states, not
yeah,
all of them, but I'm talking about the newbies.
mm,
Here in the states, they get out there, hit the wrong thing running, and some people likes confrontation, some don't. I mean, if you can get the same thing done without getting in confrontation, and and maybe get a better result than the wrong result, if you know what I
Well,
mean.
well,
yeah,
some of them are confrontational on purpose because that's what they want.
All right.
You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
because those ones they get more clicks. I don't like it really. I don't. I generally don't watch those auditors, but every once in a while for some kicks.
All
yeah.
right.
Sometimes if you need a laugh or something, like, um, but yeah, there's a couple out there that at first I thought it was real, but then it seems like a lot of it is staged. Like almost like a couple of these people are working with the police just to make it look like bad videos and that.
All right.
That's my own personal opinion. I can't back any of this up. I can only go by what I see all the time. And
Yeah, well, it is
Well,
what it.
the military bases is kind of different, but them do appear to me to be more realistic than because a lot of them military police, when they come off that base, they're just like another person, a citizen, on the street.
We see it
Uh,
slow.
so
We see you in the chat,
yeah,
slow burner.
hey, Slow, how you doing?
uh-huh. So yeah, it's. Uh, I'd love to see more people pick up cameras, and I'd
Right.
love to see more people actually stand up for their rights. And when they see something, it's not just uh, you know see something, say something, and call the police type thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to see something, say something against the police.
Right.
especially against the police and that's what and you got to make your voice heard. You got to yell it so that everybody in the neighborhood can hear and focus on what's going on. Make a
Right.
scene.
Yep.
If you see a cop beating up somebody, make that scene. Start screaming, pull out your
Right.
camera, and make sure that everybody looks at you so that they can see what's going on.
Right.
Because if you start screaming, they're going to start looking. It's a guaranteed automatic reflex for people when they see people yelling at the top of their lungs to look. And when you're standing there screaming and you got the camera going, that people are going to look at what you're screaming at. And so,
Right. And some of these new auditors, I try to, in the past, I used to tell them, I say, go to Hillendale College Education, and they give out the free, here in the States, they give out the free pocket Constitution and Bill of Rights. And you can put it in your pocket or carry it in your car or whatever when you get out. And then you can, if the cop don't know the Constitution or the Bill of Rights per se, well, here it is, buddy, right here. Like give an example, when 9/11 happened, they did the Bush, when he took office, he did a runaround on the Constitution and did the tried to subvert the Fourth Amendment rights of search and seizure. And let's see what. And Chad, I think I gave you a copy of that, and one of my documents I gave you, mass document dump I gave you a long time ago. But it did a lot of in the side and down in the bottom notes. There was very few, not too many case law on the issue at the time, but they kept on referencing the Federalist Papers. The Federalist Papers is not the Constitution. It is only memoirs and writings of the senators and representatives of Congress at the time of the Republican Party, but they were not part of the Constitution, and for a reason. They're just memoirs. So when they throw someone illegal search and seizure car, say any kind of terrorism or domestic terrorism or whatever, and you say no, they're illegally, and then when it goes to court, all you got to do is point that out. It'll be thrown out of court in a heartbeat, because the Federalist Papers is not the Constitution. And and then in the fine writing, in the notes, the bottom notes or the side notes, whatever you want to call them, they'll say Federalist Papers number 28 or number 7, number whatever the paper is that they're quoting from. And even in the Constitution, not in the Constitution, but in the Federalist Papers, they quoted that the president has the ultimate duty to protect its citizens and its nation. But it didn't make the Constitution or the Bill of Rights.
Well,
so
we have what's called the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada, and there's a guy by the name of Danny. I forget the guy's last name for the life of me right now, but if you go back onto Rebel News, he was a former premier of Newfoundland, and he is the last surviving member that helped institute the 1982 Act of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada. And he is even saying that the way that the government is going about implementing the Charter of Rights is totally against and everything against what that charter was set out to do to begin with. It was there to protect us from tyrannical government, and the tyrannical government is using it against us.
Right.
And they're rewording it for their own benefits. And that's a real big problem here. Is they take one word and they switch it so that it makes it so that it's like there's nothing in our constitution that says that they can strip our rights for a pandemic. It
Right.
says for martial law or in case of war, but nothing
Yeah,
about a pandemic, about a health.
there's not there. They cannot, according to our charter, cannot ever under any circumstances fucking stop you from traveling anywhere in the country. But they're
That's
fucking
right.
locking down the borders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same way.
They're
Same way
locking
in the
down the
states.
cities.
Same way in the states.
Like
Same way.
literally. Yeah.
Same way. Same way. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, sorry. That like they're doing the checkpoints. Say no road going to any border. It's more than over 500 miles away, and here they are putting these checkpoints up, and want to know if you're an American citizen or not. And if you don't, you have to go and be searched. And one guy, they did a preacher. His name is Pastor Anderson. It's on Checkpoint USA on YouTube. He put his whole trial up there. He won his case, and but he went through way out there. I mean, just put a stop sign out there, and they put it way out there in the dang where tumbleweeds are at. No buildings, nothing around, but their buildings that they put there for the guards and the DNS people and cameras and all that stuff they set up, and AC units and all that stuff. But then if you they smashed his head in after they busted out his window for no reason because he wouldn't roll down his window, but just so far, and questioned them, and they broke him. They unhooked the seatbelt, got him out, cut his face up with all the glass, threw him to the ground, arrested him, and then when he went to sue him at the court, he won his case, and boy, they was not even up to their own SOPs, the standard operating procedures. The DNS people, and they had this one guy, another guy that technically was a veteran. Well, no, he was in the military. He wasn't a vet. He was in the military in military uniform, and they wanted him.
SUV? Yeah.
And they wanted him, so they called his commanding officer to get him in trouble because he refusing to ID himself at a checkpoint if he was an American citizen or not and serving in the military. And and that's a lot of things. Y'all can go back and look at all them videos. I mean, people go and put all them cameras all the way around the cars. They use a dog. They use a dog to make a fake stop or fake sniff or a fake alert to your car and say, well, we got an alert. You're going to have to search your car. No, you're not. They pull people out of cars, women, children, babies crying, all kinds of crap. There's all kinds of crap that goes on. And now somebody did turn the tables on them. There was at a Waffle House somewhere nearby town, and they came in. 2 guards came in. 2 of the DNS people came in and wanted to eat. And he got up and went over there to them and said, sirs, I'd like to see y'all's documentation. Make sure you're U.S. citizens. They said, you're going to do this here now in this restaurant? Yeah. I want to know. You did it to me in a checkpoint. I want to know, see if you're actually damn citizens or not, because you look Mexican to me and you speak Mexican. They flipped the switch on. They got up and left. They didn't pay for the food, and the food just got there to them. They messed them up big time. I fell out of my chair laughing.
There was a lady in Ontario here on the Six Nations Reserve, and the Board of Health came in and tried to tell her that she had to close her restaurant because of the what's going on right now. Right, they were in a lockdown.
Yeah.
And she literally kicked them out of her fucking restaurant. She told him to get the fuck out and don't ever fucking come back, is what she told him. And then the whole restaurant just started clapping.
Yeah.
But it took they tried everything, threatening her and that. Have some fucking woman there thinking that, she's 5'5" and she thinks that she knows everything. And she's just going by what's on a piece of paper and thinking that, this is the law. It's like I told the people in City Hall today when I did my fucking audit there. I seen a sign there saying that you needed a vaccine passport to go into City Hall, which
Yeah.
is 100% fucking illegal.
Right.
And they said, well, I'm only following the rules. And I looked right at her and I said, you know what? That's what the Germans said too. And look at the Nuremberg trials, and they were all held accountable for their actions. So you might want to think twice before you start asking for
Well,
that. I said,
if they
when I
did that
seen that
stuff,
sign, I told her, I said, when people see that sign, they'll probably leave. And she goes, no, they won't. I said, well, I was about to. Because of that sign, I was about to leave. And
They've
I
done the
wanted
same
to
thing
let
in my
you know.
city.
She goes, you're welcome here,
No,
but
no,
I can't go into any room.
they've done the same thing in my city. All city stuff. You have to have vaccine. It's completely illegal.
Yes, 100%. You cannot ask for a vaccine passport at it. You're not supposed to ask for a vaccine passport, period, because your medical information is private information, which is covered under
the HIPAA
the
laws.
Health Act of Canada.
Yeah, yeah. But in
And it
particular,
also,
anything government, you can't. Period.
right.
But you know what I
So,
would have done if I was going to the city and say if I paid taxes or the county or whatever, or city or county taxes, and they had that shit on me, I'll go to the bank and I said I want $480 worth of pennies, and then I break them up and put them in a wheelbarrow. I said, you count them. You don't want me here? By your rules, I'm here to pay my taxes. There you go. Start counting them. I dump them on the floor, dump them all in the fucking tray, all over the counter, and I'm leaving. Bye.
yep. They want me to pay a $10 fine. I got arrested in Nova Scotia a few years ago for owning a cell phone. I got a $10 fine and 1 day in jail for owning a cell phone, folks.
Wow.
But I've never paid the fine. And what I was going to do is, because we don't have pennies here, I was going to
1 cent
go to the
stamps.
bank, and no, I was going to get a whole bunch of nickels and open them all up, and then take those in a fucking bread bag, and then cut the bread bag open right on the counter and say, there you go, there's my $10, count it up, you can send me the receipt when you're done, and walk out.
I'd
That's
do
what I
1
was
cent.
going to do.
I would do 1 cent stamps.
I don't.
Stamps and legal tender, man.
Yeah, the thing of it is that you can't buy 1 cent stamps anymore.
Oh,
At least
can't
I
you?
can't find it. I can't find them here right now, because I love buying 1 cent stamps.
Yeah.
They're almost like a collector's item to me. So I used to collect stamps and that, but I look for them. But no, you get them in books of 10 now, or you can buy them singly, and it's like 85 cents or something plus tax for a fucking stamp. So
I want to make it so inconvenient for them. I wouldn't buy stamps. I know it might be legal tender, but that's too easy for them. I want to put them in pennies or nickels or something to make it real hard for them to count and make them be really severely pissed off.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that. I said, yes, I can. You just said by your rules, I can't be up here without having that so-called fairy dust and unicorn and type of card or passport or whatever. I said, well, I'm here to pay my bill. There it is. And that would really piss them off, and then walk away.
Yeah, but government officials don't care. They'll tell you that, oh no, you can only pay it certain ways. You can't pay by change. It all has to be in bills, or it has to be done electronically now. Like a
I
lot
tell them
of
I
the
don't have a
things
bank
here,
account. I tell them I don't have a bank
they don't
account.
care. They don't care here.
Oh, I know. And I tell them I'm disabled, so I can't walk myself to a bank to get bills. So the only thing I got is pennies out of my
They
penny
don't
jar,
care.
my rainy day jar. And there you go.
Yeah. Well, look at even in Texas. As much as I hate to bring this guy up right now, but there was a guy in Texas that got a fine for jaywalking, and he was going to pay it. It was $120 fine or something. He had all the pennies and everything. He started feeding them into the coin machine, and that they wouldn't take them. They
Wow.
fucking spit them all back out. They closed the fucking booth, everything on him. They went back the next day to fucking go in to try and pay it again. They said no, he can't even go into the building now to pay it, and they won't take the change at the windows. So he had to break down and had to do an electronic payment.
Yeah.
Here in Canada, most of your bills now are paid online. There's not many people get bills in the mail where they use a credit card or something to pay for it, or go in and pay cash for a
Yeah.
bill anymore. It's all done online now,
Hey,
and
everybody.
they're
Hey,
moving
everybody.
everything to online.
Everybody, guess who's asleep on the panel?
Oh, right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you clip it, Chad.
Oh, you got it. I was just about to
I
do
got him.
that. Yeah, I was
I
just
got
about to
him.
do that. I said yes. I was just about to do that.
Yeah, the last night he was snoring and he was snorkeling at the same time.
Yeah. So, but it's been an
Yeah.
interesting night, and I'm glad that
Well,
was able to go ahead.
we have the we have the we have the clips. We have proof on the Side Kickz show that he snores on panels.
I heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I'm
I
not
heard
worried
that.
about that right now.
I heard
You
that.
heard it. Too late now, buddy. You got
Mm,
caught.
yeah, that's what happens. You don't talk.
So, anyways, I'm gonna jump down. Do you want to keep going, Chad? It's up to you. If you want to keep this going,
I
go
was
ahead.
thinking
But
the same, jumping down.
yeah, it's been just over 3 hours now, and
I'm getting kind of tired though.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost
right.
midnight
Right
here.
evidently needs his beauty sleep. Crybaby number one needs his beauty sleep.
Want to change my diapers?
No.
Come on.
Can't you feel the love in here?
Oh, this is always this way. Believe me.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us
So
up,
If you
guys.
want to
Appreciate
check,
it.
I dropped the. I did drop. I did drop your link in all three channels to
You're breaking up, Chad.
He does have some very entertaining panels, and he does have some very informative information on his channel.
You broke up.
yeah,
Okay,
Well,
sorry about that. I
we
did
got
drop
the
your
end.
link on all three channels.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're
One of these days when I get up there, I'll have
right.
to talk to you guys and tell you what's really going on up here and about me and the channels. Right now, you guys take off and enjoy yourself, and I appreciate us being up here.
yeah. And what we'll do is maybe we'll set up a night so that we can bring you up, and you'll be the guest.
And if you're gonna say take off on a Canadian channel, you got to finish it with A. So take off.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope they could be up on the channel too sometime.
Oh yes.
When y'all get time.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
got to get Michelle up here, too. She knows a lot more than I do when it comes to the military end of it. I just know the government end of it. I
Yeah.
studied a lot about the government, how crooked they are, and
Well, she's your
Well,
how they don't care about us people. They just care about
Well,
themselves
right,
and the rich
maybe
people
when we-
among them. Hmm?
Maybe when we bring you up, we can bring Michelle up because I mean Michelle is a regular on your show.
Yeah.
And I'm also an ex-elected official.
Yes. So
Exactly.
maybe you know what? Let me just go. I got to check a few things. I got to check the schedules because not only am I doing the Shame Canadian and the Side Kickz channel, but I am also doing CAP Talent, and I'm also doing some stuff over on Rumble and Odyssey. Plus, I got to catch up on all the Twitter bullshit that's going on. So, what I'll do is I'll check. I got to go through. I'm sort of like making myself a planners. So that I can write down who's going to be on what show, so I don't get mixed up, and it's getting
Well,
a little
you
busy.
and Chad just work it out. Well, we
Yeah.
understand. You're
Yeah. We're no
busy.
rush. Yeah.
So it'll
We'll,
be, yeah. Give me a day or two so that I
We're
can
not putting no
figure.
pressure on you. That's no big deal. We understand.
did you say tomorrow?
No, no, but just give me like a day or two so that I can figure a day and time, and then I'll get a couple of dates together, and we'll kind of hammer out a date in the next couple of days. How's that?
Yeah, it
That's
sounds.
fine.
When you're ready, don't rush. There's no rush.
No
You know
rush.
where I'm
Well,
at.
yeah, oh yes, and
Yeah, I'll be
you'll
there.
see me over there.
Okay,
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Chad too. Chad and everybody here is welcome over there as well,
Yeah, and
including the Canadian rights reviews.
Am
yes,
I allowed to come too?
Well, you're on the channel.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Duh,
yeah,
duh, big
and
bad baby number one.
yeah. So
Sounds good. All right, I'll catch you guys later on, ladies. Thank you very much, and you guys have a good night.
peace out,
All right,
brother.
good night, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go
You
too,
too,
since
right?
y'all gonna be dropping.
See you,
Okay,
Chad.
Nice,
See you,
nice,
Canadian
night.
rights.
yeah, nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, same
All
here.
right.
And
Later,
see you
Michelle.
later, Chad and Ashton. Thank you for having me up and all that good stuff. I hope I helped y'all out. I'll be glad to anytime. Y'all know that.
And thank you for showing up, and just a little bit of help that you gave him. Hopefully, it'll work out too. So,
Yeah,
um,
I hope so. And he's a
yeah.
veteran too, so I'm gonna help any vet anyway, regardless.
See, I
So
didn't even know that either until the show. I
Yeah.
didn't do a whole lot of research on him. I just did checked his videos and stuff like that. So, but now that I know that
well,
he's a veteran, he's got even more respect from me. So,
yeah, well, I don't like nobody hitting kids, or bullying
exactly.
kids and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
uh, things along that line.
Yeah.
So that's just not me. So, all
Yeah.
right, guys, you take care, be safe, and up there, stay warm. At least you're a hell of a lot colder than I am.
Yeah, a little bit. It's only -9, so.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm,
it was been getting about 23 degrees here
I'm,
Oh,
last night. So, and now we're supposed to get rain. So,
I'm above freezing, so I'm doing all right.
it
oh, the same.
snowed. It snowed all day here, and we got about 7 inches of snow.
Well, guys, I'm not no snow bunny. I don't have no white fluffy tail on my butt or my ass, and I don't go hippity hop through no snow.
Oh,
So I knew
well,
I'd get you to laugh, Ash, and you be safe and
yeah.
take care of yourself, Ash.
You too, brother. Or sister. Take
All
care.
right, bye bye.
But
Later, Michelle.
and
Uh,
and
do you get before you guys take off? I assume you guys have seen some of the videos on the Freedom Rally, right?
oh yes, yes.
Fucking it.
Yes.
I sure hope
Um,
they fucking get something done, man.
yeah, I've been trying to find some people that have a cell phone with data on it that can go out and uh, be able to do a quick interview or something with these guys anywheres. You know, with this convoy, if anybody's out there that's listening right now, if you are in any of these areas, please get a hold of me. I would love to be able to rebroadcast. I'll start up a live stream like this just for this, so that we can cover the convoy too. So this is very big. It's happening all across Canada. It's not just coming from BC. We have truckers down here protesting and that too. So,
Well, and the people that can't get into the rally, they're doing protests at the border crossings, and yeah, it's all over the place.
yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
go
what's going
down
on
and
tomorrow.
I'm gonna go
What's
down and try and go to the ferry terminal tomorrow. We have a ferry that goes from Nova Scotia to New Brunswick, and I'm gonna go down there and see what the restrictions are and shit like that, how they're doing it, um, and that. So I just got to find out what time the ferry comes in, and then I want to be there for it. It's not that far away; I can get there pretty easily. So I would like to find out what's going on there too, because that is a border crossing too.
Yeah, I was watching a couple of videos earlier, and it's a much bigger deal than certainly the liberals were saying it was. But
Yeah.
I actually posted it on my Twitter page for my channel, on my Facebook page for my channel, and I even posted it on my personal Facebook page. And my friends are all pussies because I ain't got a single leg.
Well, obviously, yeah. Are you? Do you have me on Facebook?
I don't think I do.
Oh, it's probably because it's under my name. Um, what I'll do is,
I actually, yeah. There's not many followers, but I actually do have a Canadian Rights Reviews Facebook page, and I don't post much there, but I usually just post like a picture, a thumbnail of a video, and then direct them to YouTube. But I also will on my Twitter, on my Facebook, I'll post lots of links that I'm not going to post on YouTube because YouTube's just not the right platform for that.
yeah. I've tried to post a few things on YouTube, and they just wouldn't even let me post them and take my videos and that. So that's why I'm working on trying to. I'm still learning how to use Rumble. So that I can upload videos onto Rumble. I do have an account there. I'm on Odyssey, I'm on BitChute, and I'm on Rumble, and I'm on YouTube, all under the Ashamed Canadian. I'm on Twitter as Ashcan54, and then in the private chat there, I put my Facebook page there. When you look for that name, just look for the cartoon characters and the little symbol giving the middle finger, and that's me. And
Yeah.
actually, it should say Ashamed Canadian there too. Or if you look in the about, it'll say journalist for Ashamed Canadian or something like that. But it does mention it in there. That's how you'll know it's me. That and with all the political posts and all the cop watch posts and that, because I share a lot of stuff off of YouTube onto Facebook, mainly because one of my friends on my Facebook is the chief of police, and
Well,
he actually follows me.
what I'm gonna do is shamed because I trust you. I can't friend a person from my Canadian Rights Review page. I'm actually going to add you from my page, so you're going to get my real name.
Uh-oh.
So,
Okay.
I just sent it. I just sent it.
Okay. I'll have to. Oh man, too many friggin'. I downloaded a fucking game. The first game I decided to play since Crazy Kong. That's how long it's been since I played a video game. So I downloaded a game on here. It's a farming game, kind of fun. But I get fucking 57 fucking messages an hour from all these different sites and everything, and it's like, my God.
Yeah, Not a Facebook game.
No,
No, okay. Yeah.
no. It's one that you can download. It's a farming game, and from Surrey, British Columbia, right?
That's the right one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
It's a cheesy fucking me pointing a picture at a camera on the profile.
Holy fuck! All these people. I get a lot of some weird friends requests where I wind up with shit like this coming to me, and it winds up being on Tumblr.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I get probably 5 of these a day, and I just end up just fucking deleting them, mark them as spam or something. But they're just sex fucking.
Yeah. No, it's I was actually surprised yesterday. I got one of those Nigerian prince emails in my Canadian Rights Review email. I'll transfer $5.5 million to your bank. I just need your information.
Yeah, it's like I just literally just got this. Hey, what's up? If $1,500 was deposited into your Cash App account right now, be honest, what would you use it for? Cash App, we're blessing everyone. Now, when you go and you click on these things here, Cash App, for one thing, is not available in Canada. At least it wasn't when I last November that. But when you click on these, the next thing you know, you wind up with a shitload of spam. Just for clicking on it. And now I get it like, look, bang, bang, sports check, casinos, games, and this is all within just sitting here on the live stream since we've been on live. That's what I've been getting. Nothing but shit like that. And it happens all the time. And it doesn't matter what I do now. I'm going to keep getting them. I can block them. I wanted to keep the one game, but I may have to delete the game just so that I get rid of all the fucking spam that's coming there. But yeah, I got if you look through my friends list there, you'll see the chief of police is there. His name's Wayne Gallant.
Yeah, right now. I think I've had my browser open too long. Facebook is just lagging out for me right now.
Yeah, all these chats happening. Yeah. So, yeah, and whenever you're ready, man, we'd really love to, focus the show on you to basically welcoming you back, and when you do your first video or something, this way, then
yeah, no, we can do that. I'll well, like I said, my first video is probably going to be just updating previous stuff, but when I have it ready to go, I'll let you know, and yeah, we can get something together.
Yeah, hopefully we can maybe get you a few more subscribers and that too. So that's what we're all about, brother.
Yeah, no, and I'm the same way, right? I have a fucking active Canadian content section on my main page and everything and stuff. You're on there.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've got chat on there yet, but I'll get you on there.
You were looking at going through my first. You were looking at going through that first audit I was doing before you disappeared, and then I hadn't heard anything from you since.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I took since I've come back, I've added a couple new people on there that I found, and I cleared out some old people that just aren't active anymore. But I'm gonna tweak it a little bit more because because
Yeah.
I really want to just keep active stuff there. I don't want to keep stuff there that they're dead channels, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, ET's still around. He's just I noticed I was watching CRM's panel today earlier on, and I noticed people in the chat were asking, "Well, where's Canadian Rights ET? Where's Canadian Rights ET?" And I will say it here on the channel, he is still around. We are looking at trying to have him on the show as well at some point. He has popped up a couple times on Epic's channel.
Yeah, I sent him an
He
So
did.
he
email.
is
I'm not
still
sure.
around.
I sent him an email. I'm
Oh,
not sure if he still checks that email, but
no, all that has changed. And he actually has a new YouTube name. I just wish I remember for
Yeah.
the life of me right now. But all I know
Yeah,
is
me too.
that it was it was a controversial name, so much so that they thought maybe he might have been trying to harm himself or something, or shit
Yeah.
like that was mentioned because of the way he named Goodbye Cruel World, I think it is.
yeah, I saw that
Is
actually
the
at some point. No, I saw that when
name.
I saw that
Yeah.
a few weeks ago when I was poking around.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's his new channel name.
Yeah, well, when I saw it a few weeks ago when I was popping around, it was just no content. So I figured that was
Yeah.
his. I mean, it was his old channel because that was what was on my on my active Canadian content. So it was
Oh
the same channel.
no.
He just changed the name, but I assumed he just changed the name and took off all the content, and that was just a goodbye message.
Well, he had to for some legal reasons there. He had
Legal
to take him
reasons.
down.
Yeah.
So I don't really know much more than that, other than it was some legal reasons, something to do with his lawyer asked him it would be in his best interest or something to take him down so that they couldn't use him against him or something like that. Why he was going to court on that thing that
Yeah.
he got
Yeah.
charged with. So
Yeah.
um, that's why that was gone. But yeah, it's a shame because he had some good content there too.
Well, and I
Um,
don't know where he ended up, but yeah, his numbers were really taking off too.
yes, and then it just
Yeah.
and it was had to do with the same thing that 5D.
Yeah, the Choi thing,
Yeah,
Officer Choi.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Officer Joy.
So
All right, guys, I'm getting a little
okay,
tired myself, and I
All
gotta
right.
go to the little boys' room. So,
yeah. I need a coffee, I think.
yeah, I'll do that while I run upstairs and go to the bathroom. But yeah, no, I'll let you guys know and touch base before I drop that video and go from there.
Yeah, for sure. And
All right. Cool. Cool.
what I'll do is I'll even send you an email and I'll send you my phone number.
All right.
Okay, and this way
Yep.
we can text or something too, just in case we're out and about.
Sure.
So,
Well, you might be out and about. I barely leave the house, man.
well, I I try to go out, but it's hard.
Yeah, well, that's why I barely go out as well. It's like
Yeah.
today I got groceries. I got groceries delivered this morning. I
Mm.
was sore. I was sore and had to catch my breath just after bringing in my groceries and putting them away.
Well, yeah, I get winded just walking a couple of blocks here, but the hills are like this, like
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
they're like that. They in a 1 block radius, it wouldn't surprise me if the elevation goes up 20 feet, like
Yeah.
2 stories in 1 block. That's
Yeah.
how steep.
Well, you've been out here,
Mhm.
much like New West is what I'm guessing
Yeah,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, something like that. But um, you know, at the top of the hill here, 2 blocks away, it's this I believe it's 65 feet above sea level. Where I'm at, I'm I believe 8 feet above sea level, and it's all within a couple block radius.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
All right, guys, I'm gonna piss myself. I'm gonna go.
okay,
Later,
take
man.
care,
All right, later, rights.
and we'll talk soon, brother.
Yeah, see you both later.
Yeah, later. Okay, Chad. I think it was a good night, and we will talk again in the
was.
morning, I believe.
Oh, and we're always talking. We're always keeping in
Yeah.
touch to find out what's going on.
Oh, yeah. One thing for all who's ever left out here, just remember this Thursday, in just 2 days, I will be having the constituent for the People's Party of Canada on the show at 8 p.m. on Thursday. That's 8 p.m. Atlantic time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be doing a one-on-one with this guy. Asked him, he's the People's Party of Canada are the ones who've been putting on all these freedom rallies all across Canada and that. And if I'm not mistaken, they're actually part of the ones that are put this trucker convoy and or at
They're
least
involved,
supporting
yeah.
this trucker convoy that's going on right now. So he will be here. And just so that people know, the very first part of the show, the link won't even be posted. There's some questions that need to be asked in that. And I'm trying to do it uninterrupted and try to do it as professional as we can. But at the same time, there's questions that need to be asked and they need to be answered without a bunch of people trying to talk and that. And when we do these shows, only one person is allowed up at a time. There, we ask that you come up, you ask your question, it gets answered. Then respectfully, if you could just drop down so that the next person can come up and ask the question. We're not bringing any more than one person up at a time to ask the question. This way, then there's no cross talking or anything. You get to ask your question and that person gets to answer them, and then drop down, let somebody else up. Now if it's the last part of it and there's nobody else in the basement waiting to come up, then I'm not going to say, well, you got to go, or that you can stick around until as long as it's respectful, and you can stick around until somebody else shows up, and then if somebody else shows up, then we'll have to drop you down. But unfortunately, that's the way our show is going to go. It's the only way that I know that we can keep the cross talking to a minimum, and so that we can concentrate on the guests. Our shows are not really panel shows. They're shows to help YouTubers and activists out. So we try to center it around the guest and not just everybody. So I'm sorry. At one point, if you're a YouTuber out there and you want to come on the show and let us know what you're doing in that, by all means, send us an email at ashcanaudits@gmail.com. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. And, you could be the next person on the show. Who knows? We cannot guarantee anything. We guarantee that we can put the show out on our channel, and hopefully that people see it. We hope that you would get a few more subscribers and support from the show. That's what it's all about. Other than that, if anything more comes out of it, it's all a bonus, and we don't ask for anything in return. The only thing that we ask actually is that every once in a while, when you're doing a live or something, if you can give us a shout out. That's the only thing we ask. And if anybody is again interested in these this new shirt that I had made up. These shirts are going for $30. You can email me and I can get you the information of where you can order it at and who you pay and everything. Nothing comes through me. I don't make a dime off of these t-shirts at all. It's a private person that made this up, and they cost about $30 plus shipping. So if you want one of those shirts that says "Make Canada Great, Make Trudeau an Inmate" with the big fuck off on the back, let me know. Send me an email, and I'll see what I can do about hooking you up with one. Other than that, I wish everybody a great night. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Chad?
I will say on what one of the things you were talking about though with the having the guest up. Yes, it is very very hard to keep have too many people up here. We both Ash and I both frequent panels regularly, and we see it and we experience it, and we try not to do it to each other. But sometimes we tend to I tend to be a little more spontaneous on my questions sometimes than Ash is, and I do interject on him, and I always humbly apologize to him. I don't like to interrupt him, but it's good he's writing questions down, which I'm really proud of him doing. So,
Well,
he doesn't forget his questions sometimes.
yeah.
And I'll say it's a. Go ahead, Ash.
Oh no, I'm just mumbling here.
Okay, sort of the same thing I do
Yeah.
from time to time. Anyway, I'd like to say yes. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I want to definitely shout out all of our mods on all the channels. Prairie, Michelle. I know she's got a wrench over on the chat. She was over there doing some work. I did see her doing some. Any mods we have on the Side Kickz show as well. We appreciate everything. Bad shout out to Prairie Girl as always. She bounced between all three channels, working her little butt off.
Yes, I love Prairie Girl. She's such
and she was trying to come up too, and we do appreciate and much love to you when you try to come up and talk with us too, Prairie. We always listen. We always enjoy having you up when we have an open portion of the panel.
And we had my American sweetheart in the chat tonight too. A huge shout out to the lovely my internet girlfriend, M Star Media.
We do love M Star. She's a major sweetheart.
Yeah.
She always gives us a little bit of a shout out when she sees us both in chat in her live stream. So
yeah. Even if she doesn't, I've seen me go back and do one or two of her live streams, and I wasn't even in them, and she gave me a shout out. So, I just I've known M Star for a long time, folks. So, I can kind of say stuff like this, and I really hope that she doesn't take offense, which she probably won't, but. We all know that I'm too old for fucking M Star anyways, right? She's what?
Well,
25?
we all. I mean, you have to admit she's got a great laugh too. I love her laugh.
Yes.
She's always laughing and during her audits, and I have to say that to me is always makes me laugh. So
yeah, and she was doing another one today. There, just as I went on. Her live stream, she just finished it probably about 2 minutes or something before that. So I had to sit and watch it anyways. And she got some good news today about those two cops that are always harassing her and that. Well, now those cops got a complaint that was founded, and it's now on those two cops' records for the rest of the time they're cops. So
I would
sometimes persistence pays off.
I'll say definitely chime in on that. I'll say way to go, M Star. You deserve to laugh all the way all the way to the bank on that one, honey.
Yes, and it's that those two motorcycle cops that are always around her by her work.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah,
Griffey or something.
yeah,
I believe the one cop's name is Sergeant Griffey or Officer Griffey or something, but the one that she really has a problem with, and yep, they now have those marks on their record. So, not like it'll do much. Yeah, it'll be there, but how many police agencies really give a shit about a fucking a mark on a cop's records? They'll hire you. Fuck, you kill
yeah.
somebody in
Oh yeah.
in one place illegally, and instead of going to court, you just fucking resign from there. Wait 2 months, and while you're waiting, you apply at another agency, and then next thing you know, you're hired again because they don't do background checks and they don't give a shit about those um, those misconducts on your record. They really don't care, especially if you violate somebody's rights for fucking filming or lip off some. They don't give a shit. So um, the police are
But
gonna
making them accountable is awesome,
yes,
and showing it on the record.
and yeah, it's great that it
Because I
did
mean,
happen.
eventually.
I'm glad
Go
that
ahead.
it
Sorry.
happened. I'm glad that M-Star was able to actually get that and have that mark put on them. I hope that it goes a little bit further than I figure it's going to go. But honestly, the way that the police unions are and the way that uh, their hiring practices and that, it's just basically like, oh, he forgot to return his library book. Is basically all that mark is. I hate to say it, but it's been living
Yeah.
proof. We see it time and time and time and time and time again. Cops
Mhm.
going from one gypsy cops is what they're called.
Yep.
So
Well, I think I'm spent for the night, and you're spent for the night. I think
oh yeah,
it's been a long day. It's been a long day all around for us. So personal life included. As
yeah,
always, I am the Chad. Beside me is Ashcan, aka the Shame Canadian. We are the Side Kickz. We love you. We love y'all. Thank you very much for tuning in, and to honor one of our panel guests that has popped up 2 days in a row now. You don't got to stay here, but you got to take off, eh?
yeah. Oh, ATL wanted to jump in before I turned in. Okay, good. That's good. So yeah,
Yes.
you all have a great night. Thanks everybody for coming, and we will see you the next time. If not, I'm not sure if I'm going live tomorrow or not, but for sure Thursday and for sure Sunday. Um, so be prepared for that. Again, thank you all for showing up, and you have a wonderful night. And I will see you in the
Yeah.
chats. And thank you, ATL. And